Thank you. This time I'd like to call the meeting to order. Lene, do we have any additions or corrections to the agenda?
Mr. Chair, there are no additions. We are starting with Resolution 2663 today.
I'll make a motion to approve the agenda.
I'll second.
Thanks, Jerry. Thanks, Tim. Any further discussion? Lene, please.
Rapp,
Yes.
Way,
Yes.
Meyer,
Yep.
Schmidt,
Yes.
Kalina.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. I need a motion to approve the minutes. Any corrections or additions there?
I make a motion to approve the minute.
I'll second.
Thanks, Jeff. Thanks, Charlie. Lene, please.
Way,
Yes.
Meyer, Schmidt,
Yes.
Kalina,
Yes.
Rapp.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. At this time, I'd like to call up our Sheriff, Troy Wolberson. Morning, Troy.
Good morning. I have a couple items this morning. They're both related to the same thing, which is equipment ownership for the sheriff's posse. Over the last 50 years, the sheriff's posse has purchased their own equipment, but as far as registering and titling, sometimes it's gone back and forth as far as either the county or the posse. They are a separate entity in the sense of they're a charitable organization. They can accept donations and so forth. And with the purchases of equipment, I think through an audit, it was determined that the county, to ensure these items properly, needs to be the owner of the property. And so that's what I'm doing today, is just clearing up that ownership issue. I've met with Posse. They're in full agreement to it and have signed this equipment use agreement, which I believe the board has a copy of. So what the ownership agreement states basically is that the posse's equipment will be owned by the county so that and registered, titled, and then insured by the county. However, it basically, through the sheriff, will be assigned back to the posse. So it's their equipment for use, but the ownership will be to the county for those reasons, primarily for insurance reasons. So as I said, the posse, the board for the posse has met and agreed to this, signed the agreement. I've signed the agreement. And so today I'm asking the board to accept this agreement for equipment ownership.
So Troy, I got a question. Who was taking care of the maintenance before on them?
The posse actually pays all those expenses, and
So with the change now, we're
Yeah.
going to? I
um,
seen that we're gonna have the routine maintenance and repairs will be paid for by the county.
right, and in the past, those expenses were taken care of by the posse. And I believe that they'll still be willing to take on some of those expenses, but the agreement does state that it's county equipment and will be maintained. But I suppose if they want to do that, they'll have to donate money to cover the cost of maintenance and so forth. And the posse raises money through the various activities that they support my office at throughout the year. And so they're an important organization. Like I say, they've existed for, well, actually this year is 51 years. And, you know, they've saved the county, I couldn't even guess how much money. I could do that, if I had time, I could sit down and figure it out. But over 51 years, the activities that they've been present for if you look at if I had to pay deputies overtime for every one of those hours, it's a substantial amount of money.
Yeah, it's a good program. Yeah, I'll make a motion to approve.
A second.
Yeah, Mr. Chair, Troy and I visited about this. It was just a crazy thing that came up from MCIT. We couldn't, we had to have a title in order to insure it. And this is where it came up, and it's unfortunate, but,
Yeah,
because we didn't certainly want to jeopardize the programming by any means.
No, I agree.
It's been a
Absorbing
very
the equipment
valuable
in-
asset to the entire county.
Absorbing the equipment in for the insurance purposes, I'm just curious how much it'll affect the budget for repairs or maintenance.
Well,
I don't think it's gonna be pretty minimal.
as long as we use
It'd be
our
pretty
heads.
minimal.
And here's the thing, with the equipment, the usage, it gets used often, but, say that ATV. If they're at an event and they use an ATV, it might get 1.5 miles, 2 miles put on it because if you take Brophy, the Rotary concerts,
Yep.
it's a very small area, so if they're using an ATV in that area, like I say, for an entire event, they might put 2 miles on it.
Right.
So the maintenance costs aren't as
Much.
high as you might think, plus they're very careful with the equipment because they purchase it, and so, yeah,
No, it's all good.
rare for us to have an incident where there's damage to one of the vehicles that they utilize.
Okay,
Very
thanks.
rare.
So
Mr.
Jerry made a
Chair,
motion.
I just got a comment here. When you read number C under care custody and stuff, it says, "and paid for by the county unless otherwise agreed in writing." So the posse could say, we're gonna donate money to the maintenance, and that would still be okay, because it fits in writing.
Right.
So I think that pretty much covers the way it's worded, that covers it, if the posse does
If they
wanna do that.
determine to do that, yes.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean they have to.
It doesn't mean they have to.
And I'm fine with it. I'm just making everybody aware of what's in the contract. That's all I was reading. It's all good. I'm fine with it. Jerry made a motion. You seconded, Charlie? Or Jeff did? Any further discussion? Lene, please.
Meyer,
Yes.
Schmidt,
Yes.
Kalina,
Yes.
Rapp,
Yes.
Way.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. And the second item related to this is a donation of equipment from the posse to the county, which includes 2 trailers, 2 Can-Am ATVs, both 2023s, and then 1 Kawasaki. It's actually a mule, a 2017 Kawasaki mule. And I believe the board has specific details regarding that equipment for serial numbers and so forth. So I'd ask the board to accept those donations. I don't know what the total value is because I didn't add them all up, but $7,500 for one trailer, $69 for another, $6,900. $10,975 for one Can-Am, $10,325 for the other Can-Am, and $74.95 for that's current value of the Kawasaki. So a substantial donation, but it truly is intended to go right back to the use that it was purchased for. The posse purchased it for their uses. And so that is my intent, and I'll speak for the next sheriff because we've discussed it. That's his intent as well, so.
I'll make a motion to approve resolution 26-63.
A second.
Thanks, Charlie. Thanks, Jeff. Any further discussion? Lene, please.
Schmidt,
Yes.
Kalina,
Yes.
Rapp,
Yes.
Way,
Yes.
Meyer.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thanks, Troy. At this time, I'd like to call up Emma Jean Ford with the Executive Director of Douglas County HRA.
And Sarah.
And
And
Sarah.
Sarah,
She's my backup,
right hand.
my right hand on my left. So, good morning, commissioners. I'm going to try to just maybe give you guys a quick highlight of what we've been up to. It's really hard to do that quickly because the agency seems like we're busy every day with more things than we know how to handle. But of course, we continue to provide subsidies to tenants all over the county, providing about $1.5 million in rental subsidies in the county to the landlords, so that keeps people housed. Of that, we are processing so far this year 223 households. About half of those households are either elderly, disabled, or both, so we're really hitting that target demographic of who we want to be able to help, and the rest are typically families or single head of households that are elderly. Public housing and rural development, as always, we're providing 36 units of subsidized housing, and then we have 53 units of market rate that we keep at very low income, so they're practically subsidized on their own. We brought in grants last year of $150,000 to match our local housing trust fund grant that that the commissioners approved the other year. So we brought in an additional $150,000 in grants there, $500,000 from REA ALP to provide transportation to our clients, so there's no barriers for them getting to the office to be able to make their appointments, and then $2,600 in fees with cooperation with other agencies. So we're bringing in some other grants and other income that way. New programs we've successfully applied for and received 40 new vouchers from the state for the Bring It Home initiative, which is a program specifically for families with children underneath the age of 18 at 30% or below the median income. So we have a large waiting list for that program already to help place those families and households and help them with their upward mobility. That brought in about $320,000 worth of rental subsidies and $80,000 worth of startup costs to the county to provide that for those people. Future things we're looking at a partnership with the ALEC EDD and ALEC HRA. We're applying for a grant for the Alexan to make repairs for the new owners to really bring that building back to what it really was. So up out of $600,000 we're going to be pursuing with those other agencies to the state, and as well as the Osaka City, Brandon, and Garfield are looking at some rehab grants that we'd like to bring to them. And then we have some cost-saving measures of using a rural Minnesota SEP worker as kind of our administrative assistant. He's a great kid. He does a lot of great work for us. That probably saves us $20,000 to $30,000 annually in an additional staff person just helping us fax, scan, file, all kinds. He looks up resolutions for me. I mean, he's really great, so we really appreciate him. But it's another cost-saving measures that we've implemented to be able to continue to do the work that we do and as busy as we are. And then, of course, you all know about our new offices coming up. And so, and there's a possibility of the Carlos developers are wanting to sell the Carlos apartments. That's running out of their subsidy. So that subsidy is going away. But however, as the HRA, if we purchase those units in Carlos, we're able to apply for what's called standalone rental assistance for those apartments and continue that subsidy for those tenants. So the HRA board, their Carlos developers and the agencies are talking together on how that's going to work and working with rural development to keep that subsidy. So it's just a little snapshot of what keeps us busy.
Yeah, so Mr. Chair, so what kind of renovations would have to be done to the Carlos apartments?
Not much. We've already had the inspection completed, and it's a really good standard building. If anything, in talks with rural development, so it's really, it's structurally in good condition, it's up to code, and most everywhere, you know, you're always gonna find a little plumbing, a little electrical, some GFIs or something, but it is structurally a sound building in good condition. Rural development only noted that it could probably use some updates, like the carpets, maybe original in the hallway, you know, and some of the cupboards. So even rural development agreed that the building is structurally sound, good condition. It's a good, solid purchase, just needs some updating.
Yep.
As far as aesthetic, more than structural. If there's any questions, I'd be happy to answer and or.
Any further questions? Board's wishes.
Well, I'll make a motion to approve the resolution, the tax levy request 26-64.
I'll second it.
Well, Mr. Chair, I just have a question. Then what is the purchase price going to be? Do you know?
We have not set the purchase price yet, but we do have funds set aside for that in our development program, as well as the local housing trust fund has the possibilities to do that. So it will not create an additional burden or additional mortgage typically. We could consider that as an option, but it's probably going to be, I would guess, because we have not proposed a purchase agreement to Carlos developers, but anywhere from 10 to 20% of the current market value, which, I would say, so you'd have to look at that. I don't want to say a number because I don't want to be wrong and then later come back and say it wasn't what we thought. But it's very reasonably positioned.
Mr. Chair,
Yeah, go ahead.
and it's full,
Yes, it's full.
and they still all qualify, right?
Yep, it's still full. It all qualifies and they
For
currently
HRA,
have
and-
subsidies.
And they wouldn't have to move out, any of them? Okay.
So what happened, the Carlos developers will pay off their mortgage as of February 28th of 2027. Once a rural development mortgage is paid off, the subsidies go away. And all the tenants would lose their subsidies. As the Carlos Developers Club has aged like the rest of us, nobody really wants to be involved in all of that anymore. They're ready to retire, and do that. So the HRA could step in, then we could apply for these SARA funds, not provided by this SARA, the standalone rental assistance funds, and continue that subsidy for the 7 tenants out of 8 that are receiving it, I believe.
Yeah.
So it would,
The
it's,
ones that'll qualify.
yeah, it fits right into our mission of maintaining that affordable housing, buying a good product, keeping those tenants housed. And some of them have been there for quite a while, and I don't know what they would do if someone moved in and, and that's what the developers are trying to avoid. They don't want to sell it to a fair market rent landlord because right now the rents are like $415 for a 2-bedroom.
That's reasonable.
That's cheap. And so if a fair market landlord came in without any subsidies, it's possible that those rents would double or triple. Which I always say, people ask me about that, and I always say, fair market landlords have a right to choose to charge what they want. They're in it to make money.
Right.
The HRA is in it to provide a service and remain solvent.
But it wasn't.
We're not in it to
but it
feed
wasn't
our
built for
shareholders.
that either, though.
What?
It was built for the program, too.
It was built for the
Wasn't-
program.
So it isn't a terrible thing to continue, but that's.
No. It meets the mission of that building and the mission of the HRA, so it's a great partnership. It's kind of a no-brainer move.
Thank you. Any further questions? Lene, please.
Kalina.
Yes.
Rapp.
Yes.
Way.
Yes.
Meyer.
Yes.
Schmidt.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you all very much.
At this time, I'd like to call up Lee Katzamarick, County Coordinator.
Good morning, Mr. Chair, Commissioners.
Morning.
Couple items. First one is for 2027, looking forward with our budgeting plan here. And we have a union grid right now for 2020, or I'm sorry, non-union grid for 2026. Looking at the non-union grid for 2027, and that the one you have with you shows a 3% general wage adjustment across the board. So that means every part of that grid, it would go up 3% for 2027, starting on January 1st is what I'm asking.
Okay.
I'll make a motion to approve the 2027 non-union wage grid.
I'll second.
Thanks, Tim. Thanks, Charlie. Any further discussion? Lene, please.
Rapp.
Yes.
Way.
Yes.
Meyer.
Yes.
Schmidt.
Yes.
Kalina.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. The next item I have is, so as you may know, we do a regular review of the job descriptions throughout the county, and there's probably between 70 and 80 job descriptions, job classifications across the county. And so our goal is to keep those updated because tasks, technology, the level of depth can change in those jobs. And so we use a company called David Drown and Associates. What they do is they're a third party. They will look at the detailed analysis of the job and give it a rating. And so we are doing that outside of our own walls to try to keep things on the up and up, and that's kind of an industry best practice. So for this year, we had several jobs that were reviewed. You have the list in your packet. And those job reviews resulted in no changes for the pay grade on each of those listed job classifications. So I'm just asking the board to approve these results, and I'll be back typically each year with a different list of job classifications.
I'll make a motion to approve the 2027 PAQ grade results.
Second.
Thanks, Charlie. Any discussion? Lene, please.
Way,
Yes.
Meyer,
Yes.
Schmidt,
Yes.
Kalina,
Yes.
Rapp.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thanks for your work, Lee.
Thank you. You're welcome.
At this time, I'd like to call up Brent, IT Director. Morning.
Morning.
Mr. Chair and board members, for your consideration this morning, I have a revised agreement between the City of Alexandria and Douglas County IT Department. We have supported the Alexandria Police Department formally since 2006. The agreement that was signed back then has been revised in a number of different iterations over the year. The city's now in position with their own staff to support the police department, which is a good thing. We've been working for quite some time to re-engineer the systems and the network between the two agencies. So they're in a position now to share their portion of the bandwidth for our internet connection that we have paid 100% for since we've gotten the connection with MNet. And by all accounts, I think we're ready to move forward. I do have the agreement and the addendum that I provided you had some last minute alterations with some strike throughs and just clarification items. I do have a clean document here, Shane, that if we approve, I'll have you give a quick signature to. Any questions for me?
Mr. Chair, yeah, they got their percentage of the bandwidth. That whatever they use, basically, we're plenty big enough
That's correct. Yep.
to cover. Okay.
Yep, we have very good reporting on that device, and so we can go in and break it down exactly. So
Okay. Are you still are you first call for troubleshooting, or are they supposed to be now self-sufficient?
They're supposed to be self-sufficient. However, we do have in the addendum, we have outlined any technical support that's
I did see
required.
that. That's why I brought it up. just so-
We have been very gracious in our time outside of the scope of what our current agreement has been, so we wanted to make sure that we outline exactly what.
Yeah. I would imagine there will be a little of that at least to start with.
Yep.
So, okay, thank you. With that being said, I'd make the motion that we move forward with the agreement.
I'll second that, but I have a question.
Go ahead.
So Brent, do you think that we're ever going to get to the point where we're going to go get the bad guy instead of just always trying to block him?
That would be a question for local, state, and federal authorities.
Well, I'm just saying that.
They're doing their, they're trying to follow up. I don't know if in the news recently, there were over 30 municipalities hit with their water treatment systems. I don't know if it's possible to track down the bad guys in Iran that were behind that.
Well, like I said, but I mean, like I said, we're constantly, playing defense instead of stopping the guys that are doing it.
Yeah, no, totally
makes-
agree.
it
That's the
just-
environment we're in, and it's
Yeah.
always evolving, right?
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, that's my question.
Brent, I had a question, and this might be more towards Lee too. I see I'm signing as the chair. Does the mayor need to sign this?
So
or-
I ran,
'cause we don't
so
have,
I was curious about that, and I
Okay.
asked on several occasions who needs to sign, and I'm not sure about the city's process. I guess Marty made the call that he'll sign it on behalf of the city. I wanted you folks to be aware of the change in our agreement, and
yeah, that's fine. I just was,
in 2006, it was the city mayor and
Yeah.
the board chair, as well as my predecessor. I'm not gonna speak, that's what they told me, so.
fair enough. All good? Anybody else got anything? Thanks, Charlie and Jerry. Lene, please.
Meyer.
Yes.
Schmidt.
Yes.
Kalina.
Yes.
Rapp.
Yes.
Way.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Sign this quick.
Sure. At this time, I'll call up Tim Erickson, Public Works. You can date it. There you go. Thanks. Morning, Tim.
Morning. Just one item on the agenda for your consideration today. Last week, we opened up bids for SAP 021-623016. So that's our grade widening project over on County Road 23. We had some very good bids come in. A couple of reasons for that. A lot of it is timing. So this is a nice, relatively small project, always set for the tail end of the construction season. I do know for a fact the two low bidders are looking for work, and I think that has absolutely showed up in their bids. I have no doubt that tradesmen can handle this project. They'll do a really good job for us. I'll make that recommendation that we award this to Tradesman Construction. Any other questions? I do have the full bid abstract if you guys are kind of curious how that one plays out as well.
Doing it yet this, Mr. Chair, this fall
Correct,
with the timetable?
correct.
If we approve this today, can they start Monday or what?
As soon as they get contracts and bonds back, the bond is usually what takes the longest time.
Yeah, I know, okay. But they plan on getting it completed
Yes,
before winter,
yes.
okay. That'd be great.
So the property that we purchased back in May or June now, that's where all the material for the grade widening comes from. So everything is right there on site. Everything's locked
Close
down.
by.
Correct.
It was all part of the plan. the whole-
Correct.
Well, the nice thing is it keeps the cost down on that note too.
Yep.
Makes it
It
a little
shows
better.
with the bid, that'd be cool.
Correct.
I'll make a motion to go ahead with Tradesman Construction.
Mr. Chair, I got a
Go ahead.
question before. Are you gonna totally mill that whole road off then for,
This fall, no.
no?
No. So where we cut across for center line culverts or where we're cutting across to get into the new storm sewer, those will fill up with gravel. They'll be left open. There's a little bit of grading work on the south side of the road. That'll also stay gravel. Next year is when we'll do a reclaim and pave for the whole thing. So that we'll take care of the surfacing next year.
Okay, because it makes it sort of hard to plow when you have gravel, tar, because you end up with them lips there all the time, and that's what I'm worried about in the wintertime, so we don't end up hooking a plow into one of them
Yep.
and doing a bunch of damage to the trucks, because you're gonna spring something if you hook a plow in them.
So we do mark each of those this fall before they come through to plow, so at least they know that it's coming up, the
Okay.
plow operator. We did the exact same thing on County Road 14 last year when we had just the center line culverts cut out. And of course, the plow operators, yeah, they don't like it, but at least they know that it's there.
Because I know when they did 114 last year, they tarred over
Every last one of
every
them.
last one, and I was just thinking it'd be easier for the plow operator if you just milled the whole works off.
So the state did that at a cost of about $2 million just for if all of those patches.
Yeah, but
And
that's-
that's why we don't.
Yeah, well, I know that's why we don't, because of the cost, because it doesn't
Right.
make sense to put new tire, but I'm just looking at if a guy just milled the whole thing and leave
That'd
it,
be the other option. We could
Yeah.
reclaim the whole thing.
reclaim the whole thing and just have it gravelled, well, it'd be recycled all
Right.
winter long. So, that's one option, but then the cost is gonna go up on the bid,
Correct.
so,
We'd be looking at a change order right out the gates.
Oh, yeah.
yeah,
And that's where they got you.
so. Were you gonna second it?
Uh,
Otherwise, I will.
Go for it.
I'll second it.
Thanks, Tim. Any further questions? Lene, please.
Kalina.
Yes.
Rapp.
Yes.
Way.
Yes.
Meyer,
Yes.
Schmidt.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Tim. At this time, I'd like to call up Dave Rush, Land and Resource.
Good morning, Board.
Morning, David.
I have 3 items for your consideration this morning. We have 2 final plats. The first is the final plat of Kamaki Second Edition. This is a 3-lot plat with an outlot, replatting of a previously platted piece in there, but they met all of the standard requirements we have for final plats, as well as the conditions that we put on the preliminary plat. So we recommend approval for recording.
I'll make a motion to approve with conditions.
Second.
Thanks, Tim. Thanks, Jerry. Yep. Any further questions? We're all good? Lene, please.
Rapp,
Yes.
Way,
Yes.
Meyer,
Yes.
Schmidt,
Yes.
Kalina.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Very good. The next item I have is another final plat. This is Miltona Cabins LLC. It's a 3-lot plat up in Miltona Township. They have met the standard conditions in our ordinance for final plat, as well as the conditions placed, excuse me, on the preliminary that required approaches be put in and a drainage area implemented with easements. The township has agreed to take over the maintenance of that stormwater and drainage conveyance and stormwater. So with that, we're seeking approval for recording.
I'll make a motion to approve the final plat for Miltona with the conditions.
I'll second that, but I do have a question, Mr. Chair. Is there a reason they call it cabins?
I don't know. The names are up to the developer, and then they get reviewed by the county to make sure there's no duplication on that, so.
Because I've been by there, that's quite an extensive riprap they got going down to the road. Have you seen it?
On the drainage way?
Yeah,
Yep.
on the west side there.
It is rather steep,
Yeah?
as I think you're aware, so yeah, that's why they have that in there.
Okay. That's all I got.
Thanks, Jerry. Any further questions? Lene, please.
Way,
Yes.
Meyer,
Yes.
Schmidt,
Yes.
Kalina.
Yes.
Rapp.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. And the last item is from our Planning Commission meeting last week. This would be the preliminary plat of West Darling Ridge. At your last meeting, you remanded this back to Planning Commission, who reviewed it and again recommended approval with 3 conditions. 2 were previously brought to you, and then a 3rd condition was recommended by the Planning Commission to be added, but they do recommend approval of the preliminary.
I'll make a motion to approve with conditions.
Second.
Thanks, Tim. Thanks, Jerry. Any further discussion? Lene, please.
Meyer,
Yes.
Schmidt,
Yes.
Kalina.
Yes.
Rapp.
Yes.
Way.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Very good. Unless you have any questions for me,
We're all good. Have a good day.
have a good morning, yes.
Jill, Finance Director.
Good morning. I just have one item today, just looking for a motion to approve bills totaling $3,423,141.41.
Motion to pay the bills.
Second.
Thanks, Tim. Thanks, Jeff. Any further discussion? Lene, please.
Schmidt,
Yes.
Kalina,
Yes.
Rapp,
Yes.
Way,
Yes.
Meyer.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jill. Vicky Doling, Auditor Treasurer.
All right, good morning. I just have one item. This is for the annual tax increment financing disclosure, or abbreviated as TIF. Per the Office of the State Auditor, TIF guidance, a development authority must provide a copy of their annual year-end TIF disclosure report and financial reports to the county auditor, and then also to the county commissioners. So I've included those in your packet. And it just needs to be documented in the minutes that they've been presented and received on time. So, no action needed, really, just
Informational only.
informational
Anybody
to
got
be
any
put in the
questions?
minutes. Yeah, any questions?
If I said he's Alexander Brandon, it was Milton, I was like, yeah. I guess I don't.
I don't either.
All right, that's
Simple?
simple and easy today.
Pretty basic. Thanks, Vicky.
Thanks, Vic.
All right, at this time, it's, the board's got internal requests to act on. We have the commissioner salaries and per diems. So on the salaries, we were looking at doing a 3% increase following the guidelines that the rest of the county is. But we did take a look at increasing the per diems to $125 per day. Hasn't been adjusted in 8 years. We did talk about getting paid for multiple meetings, and we decided not to go to that direction. And so I'm presenting it, I guess, because the chair is the one who worked on it with Jill, and presenting it to you that we do $125 for eligible meetings, and then regular and special emergency county board meetings and committee meetings as identified. Board's thoughts.
So, Mr. Chair, what was the thought behind going to 125 for if you had more than one meeting a day? What was the thought there?
Well, the thought is we were going to do multiple pay for meetings, so you would get $100 for your first meeting in the day. And then we talked about $75 for the second meeting and going down to $50 for the third meeting in a day. We just thought it kind of made it complicated. You're only going to get paid for one meeting, so if you have 3, you're basically going to get $25 to help offset some of that, plus getting paid for your board meeting. If you look at missing it, you miss 1 or 2 meetings, which we all do during the year, you can't make them all. It really doesn't amount to that much of an increase. And it just hasn't moved in 8 years. If you'd have done the 3% as you went forward, we'd have probably had more than that by now. But it is open.
So I just want to clarify then, so that the 125 only goes into effect if you have 2 meetings, or?
No, it has nothing to do with multiple
Okay,
meetings
all
at
right,
all.
all right,
anymore.
all right.
No, sorry, Jerry. Yeah,
All right.
multiple meetings don't mean anything anymore.
Okay.
You're still, it's just gonna stay the same.
All right.
It's just the increase is to 125
Still a per diem, which is just per day.
per day.
That's
Yep.
right. Yeah, that's
Yep, we didn't change any of that. We're not getting paid for any multiple meetings at all.
So did you make that a motion, Mr. Chair, or what?
I'll make a motion for the increase, yes.
I'll second it.
So you had a motion and a second from Charlie. Any further discussion? Lene, please.
Rapp,
Yeah.
Way,
Yes.
Meyer,
Yes.
Schmidt,
Yes,
Kalina.
Yes.
Motion carries.
thank you. Next one up is the resolution. Oh, that was a resolution, by the way, wasn't it? I missed that. What is it, 2665? Is that what it is, Linda?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chair.
Yep. So now we have a resolution to set the county attorney's salary. And I gotta find that. I haven't caught up to there yet. Chad, did you want to speak on it, or?
Mr. Chair, I just think that I was asking for
if the non-unionized county employees were gonna receive any raise, that mine would just be the same, so I believe that would be 3%.
Correct. Yeah,
That's what I'd be asking.
all right, thank you.
Thank you.
I'll make a motion to approve Resolution 2666 for the county attorney's salary of a 3% increase.
Yeah, I'll second.
Thanks, Charlie. Any other comments? Lene, please.
Way,
Yes.
Meyer,
Yes.
Schmidt,
Yes.
Kalina,
Yes.
Rapp.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thanks, Chad.
Thank you.
Okay, at this time, the next one up is the resolution to set the auditor treasurer salary. I think Vicky said the same thing. She was gonna do a 3% increase. Board's thoughts?
I would approve resolution 26-67 go along with the 3% Vicky asked for.
I'll second it. Any further discussion? Lene, please.
Meyer,
Yes.
Schmidt,
Yes.
Kalina,
Yes.
Rapp,
Yes.
Way.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Next one is a resolution for the county recorder's salary for 2027. At that time, I believe she was asking for a 3% increase as well. I'll make a motion to approve that. Our resolution 2668. I even got it wrote down, Charlie.
I think on her request, it's a number amount, numerical amount, it wasn't percentage.
Was it? Okay.
And I believe she's at 86,000 currently.
Sorry, I missed that. I'll go back to it.
Yes, Mr. Chair, at the August 4th meeting, she had requested 90,000.
And what is she at now?
86.
86. Okay, I'll make a motion to approve that.
A second.
Thanks, Jeff. Any further discussion? Lene, please.
Schmidt,
Yes.
Kalina,
Yes.
Rapp,
Yes.
Way,
Yes.
Meyer.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. The next one is 2027 new positions and valuations. Leaded, oh no, that's on, I got it, on the sheriff. And senior engineering technician. So we got 3 of them on there, okay. This is the one for the Veterans Office. That's the bottom one. I don't see, where's the senior engineering one? I'm missing something.
Mr. Chair, didn't we talk about that position for the veterans position? I thought we weren't going to do anything on that.
Correct. I think we did talk about it. I think he's just bringing it forward again. Where's the
Where are
engineer?
you at here?
Yeah, we got to go to senior engineering technician position. Right there it is. I'm sorry, I don't know if I'm missing it or what. No, it's on the screen. Anyways, the Public Works Director wishes to reactivate the position of senior engineering technician, grade 12, to replace an existing engineer technician position, grade 11. Yeah, I'm missing that one.
Did you want, Mr. Erickson is still in the room. but-
Tim, did you want to talk about that, or? Yeah, please. Yeah, I guess I'd like to hear a little bit about it. Thanks, Jerry.
Couple of us had a cough. I don't know if the rest of them knew about it.
Absolutely. So this is a position, we've had it on the books for a while, and it's one where we have a current technician that meets all of our minimum requirements for that. He does a fantastic job with what we're doing. We're looking at rewarding him for putting in the work that he has put in for us. And so it's a way to give him a little more responsibility, also recognize the work that he's put in. And so we're looking at promoting within. So this is something that we put into our 2027 budget so that we could be prepared to really reward an employee.
Mr. Chair, I got a question.
Go
So
ahead.
that's basically like having a 3 out at an outlying shop. This is gonna be, he's gonna be in charge of the other technicians?
So not in charge of the other technicians, but we give him more responsibility on construction projects.
Okay.
More so in the field and stuff.
Correct.
I will make the motion to reactivate senior engineering technician position.
A second.
Thanks, Tim. Thanks, Jeff. Any further discussion? Lene, please.
Kalina.
Yes.
Rapp.
Yes.
Way.
Yes.
Meyer.
Yes.
Schmidt.
Yes,
Motion carries.
Thank you very much.
thanks. Yeah, Troy, you want to come up and explain yours as long as you're standing? Oh, he doesn't know about this? The sheriff wishes to add 2 patrol lieutenants?
He was just leaving.
I know he was, but
I was answering the emails back.
that's okay. No, you're fine.
We're talking about.
We're talking about the addition of adding 2 patrol lieutenants graded 15 and replace 2 patrol sergeant positions.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't know it was on the agenda. So, yeah, the intent is to replace 2 sergeants' positions with lieutenant positions. Basically, especially because the lieutenant position is considered an exempt position, it's probably pretty budget neutral because sergeants are eligible for overtime. And so it's one of those where pay-wise, it may not be that big of a difference as far as between a sergeant and a lieutenant because of the fact that they're not eligible, the lieutenants are not eligible for overtime. And so, I mean, this isn't why I'm here today, but I mean, it would be nice to be able to do that this year. And so I guess for today's purposes, it's just informing the board that that would be, unless, I don't know if you can make decisions on that, but informing the board that that will be a future agenda item. Since it isn't an agenda item today, I'm guessing you can't make decisions on it. And you might have questions regarding that, but so yeah, that's the intent. It's and then utilizing lieutenants to help with the supervision of. They'd be responsible for supervising a certain number of sergeants plus deputies, and also have some budgetary responsibilities in the sense of being allowed to make purchases and so forth.
Yeah, and it does say on here goes effect January 2nd of 27.
That was the original intent, and after speaking to I mean, I assume he's the next sheriff. There's nobody running against him, so if we can do that sooner, that's the plan anyway. And so I have not put it on the agenda yet, but the intent really was to put it on the next agenda.
And then my follow-up question is, are you going to replace the patrol sergeant positions?
Only with the lieutenants. There would not be additional positions.
Okay, added.
Troy did this.
So, and that's assuming, of course, that sergeants are promoted to the position of lieutenant. With that assumption, no, there would be not. We wouldn't intend to backfill those sergeant positions.
Okay.
So no additional staff, just
When-
2
when-
additional positions, but no additional staff needed to do
When we
this.
had, when the budget committee met, when Tim and I heard this, when Troy before, and we talked about the situation. It's not a backfill situation. It's just using the lieutenants instead of them two sergeants, so.
Well, Mr. Chair, I guess my comment is that Troy is, roughly at the end of his career here. I mean, personally, I would like to have the new sheriff do this if we're going to do it.
I can bring him with.
Yeah, yeah. I just, and again, so if you have a lieutenant, then they would be after the chief deputy then? They would be the next down, just like the two
The
sergeants?
assumption would be that, based on the election process, there's nobody else that filed for that position, so chief deputy would be the next sheriff.
Okay, so there's nothing saying that these two so-called lieutenants would not be a chief deputy then?
Well, I don't know what his choice is for his next for the next chief
Well,
deputy.
that's what I'm,
Probably don't want to get into that.
well, that's what I'm saying.
It's the next sheriff's choice.
I get that, but if his choice is one of these lieutenants, then,
Then he'll fill that lieutenant.
He'll just simply have to go through the promotional process again at that point, but, so, yeah, I mean, if it were, it would have.
I don't know. Mr. Chair, are we you want us to table this because it's on the agenda for an action item today. That's what.
I think what Troy is asking us to
I-
approve it, and then next meeting agenda, he'd like to start it now instead of wait till January.
Oh, I
That's
see.
what I'm reading, right?
Here's what I can say. I didn't put it on the agenda. I assume it's on there so that you can approve the pay, but
That's true.
I pay in the slot numbers, but I would have come much more prepared if I put it on the agenda, put it that way. I didn't know. it
Jill's
was-
got her hand up. Let's see what she says.
No, and that's all right. I mean.
Oh, she was going to comment, Troy.
No,
Jill.
I'm sorry.
So every year at this time, we come to the board, like Lee helps draft these for different positions that the departments have put in their long-range plans. And typically, with any of these positions, we're asking for the board to make a decision so we know if that position should stay in the budget for the next year or not. And typically, those positions will start January 1 of the following year. Now, what I would say about these lieutenant positions, based on them pretty much being budget neutral, I think it would be fine to approve them effective today if you wanted to. So the sheriff and the chief deputy could start the recruitment process for those. Because it really doesn't impact the budget for 26
Either way.
either.
Got it. There you go.
And that, I mean, that's what, if I had put this on the agenda, that would be part of the discussion. I appreciate Jill doing some clarification there, but like I say, I'd be much more prepared if I had put it on the budget, or on the agenda, but no, that would be what the desire is to be able to make those promotions happen this year in the 2026 budget. And yes, I suppose there's that possibility that one of those lieutenants could be appointed to chief deputy, and then it just simply be another promotional process in 2027 to fill that position. But I do not know who the next chief deputy is. It's not my appointment to
Fair enough.
make.
Board's wishes.
Make a motion to approve.
I'm going to just need a clarification. Is it going to be to go ahead and make that promotion in 2026 if that's,
Yeah, do the recommendation. What Jill just got done telling us
She
was
said it would be fine.
it's pretty
It's not
much
gonna
budget
affect
neutral,
us.
so
It
to
is.
get it started now doesn't hurt anything.
You're not going to do it tomorrow anyways. It'll probably take you a few days.
no, it'll take a little bit of time to do a process. So in next month, it probably would happen if the board approves it today.
Okay,
I would make that motion.
I'll second that.
thanks, Charlie. Thanks, Tim. Any further discussion? Lene, please.
Rapp,
No.
Way,
Yes.
Meyer,
Yes.
Schmidt,
Yes,
Kalina.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you.
thanks. All right, now we're gonna move into appropriations. At this time, we'll call up Brenda.
We got one
We
more
got
to
the
go.
veterans.
Oh, the veterans, sorry, I skipped over it already. Sorry, thanks for reminding me. What do you guys want to do with that one?
Leave it at .8.
Is that a motion?
Yep.
I'll second it. Charlie made a motion to leave it at .8, not to do the increase. I seconded. Any further discussion? Lene, please.
Way,
Yes.
Meyer,
Yes.
Schmidt,
Yes.
Kalina.
Yes.
Rapp.
Yes.
Motion carries.
All right, we good now? Brenda, you get to come up now. Sorry. There's a lot of stuff on this thing today.
Good morning.
Good morning.
So as you've already seen, Rainbow Rider is asking for appropriations for 2027 of $27,866.19. A pretty big reduction from what we've been asking for in the past. MnDOT has restructured the way they're funding us. So basically, in the past, we would write our budget and they would fund that. And we had to have a local share of so much. Now we're writing our budget. They're giving us so much and we have to fill in the gaps. So that's what we're now going to be asking from the counties. So this is for operating. For capital, they did not have their schedule prepared yet for 2027, so we are not asking for anything because we don't know what we're getting. Just a couple informational tidbits alongside of that to let you guys know where Douglas County is at through June of this year. Rainbow Rider has completed 66,635 rides. Of those, 39,197 were in Douglas County. That's about 59% of our total ridership. Included in that is 1,008 rides that come from Pope County into Douglas County. And we started a new route from Grant County coming into Douglas County. It's a slow start, but so far we've had 49 people use that, so that's exciting. We have put out 16,279 hours of service, and we have put out 184,164 miles. We also have a volunteer driver program that is put together with individuals. We have about 9 people. They use their own vehicles. Those are for rides that perhaps we don't have a route for in Douglas County, or it's for people that need to go outside of our service area. Through June for Douglas County, we've provided 379 rides through that program. And of those 379, 337 of those rides went outside of our service area. And then one last thing I wanted to talk about, you're probably all aware of our new facility in Alexandria. We're almost there. I just wanted to talk about what that will provide. So in that facility, we'll have 15 spots for parking buses, a nice big training room for our 60 employees, and then about a 4-person office expansion. In the future, we're looking at possibly expanding with dispatch in Alexandria. And so with that facility, we'll be able to take 4 routes that currently start in Lowry but operate in Douglas County, and house them at that facility along with our other buses from the old facility. With doing that, we'll be able to save about 35,000 miles per year, and 520 hours per year. So we're excited about kind of cutting off some of those wasted miles and hours. So we're hoping in a month or so, we'll be using that.
Question for you, Brenda. Are you going to open up the meeting room for other people to use, or is that going to stay Rainbow Rider for now?
That was actually something that was talked about when we designed it. So I think we've got a training in October.
Right.
Once we get through that, we'll look at the,
Okay. And are you having an open house?
we are planning on it. Yes, we're looking, currently September 11th? I can't remember if it's the 10th or 11th.
911? You'll send it out to us anyway.
We will be sending out information, correct?
Yeah, because if we're doing it, I
We
suppose
did a
gotta
meeting
open it
there
up.
Thursday, a week ago. Our monthly meeting.
Nice.
Facility is 98% done.
Yes. There was a last minute hiccup that we have to take care of.
Wow.
Of course.
Yeah.
It's been full of hiccups. It's been an interesting
Like
journey.
everything else, it's a piece of equipment. Generator hasn't showed up yet.
It's like in an elevator, right?
Water's off.
Mr. Chair, I got a question
Go
for
ahead.
Brenda. Now in Lowry, when you're gonna take some buses out of Lowry then?
Yes.
The Lowry facility will still stay open.
Yes, we plan on staying, we're gonna keep all our administrative offices in Lowry.
Okay.
We'll have everything we have now minus just 4 routes, 4 buses that we'll put up in Alexandria, simply because they operate in Alexandria. So like right now with those 4 routes, we have on most days 4 people that drive from Alec to Lowry, grab a bus and drive back up to Alec. So we'll be eliminating that.
So then the repair work, will that still be done in Lowry or will that be done here too?
It'll still be done in Lowry. However, with this new facility, we'll be able to keep things up in Alec. So if it's small repairs, the mechanics can just drive up and take care of business up in
The
Alec.
shop is gonna stay in Lowry. That's where they got the equipment, the pit and stuff.
Okay.
And what'd you say? You had room for 15 buses?
15 buses.
So where are
Yep.
the other 11 coming from?
Well, we're actually, we'll have a couple spares. At this point, we're thinking about keeping our current garage, which is designed for 4 buses. We currently have 9 buses there. So 5 of those, well, probably 6 will go there, and then 4 from Lowry, and we'll probably have a couple spares.
Got it. Okay, perfect.
A lot of
Yeah.
the Long Prairie buses leave from that location, so
Right.
that's what makes it make more sense if they stay open there.
Yep.
5-mile difference is probably a 30-minute try to get through town from one spot to the next.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
At this time, I'd like to call up Rebecca Lynn Peterson, West Central Initiative. It doesn't look like Rebecca.
That's Rebecca.
That's what I said when you were walking up to him. I said, I don't look like Rebecca.
Good morning. I am the real Rebecca Peterson. This is my colleague, Rick Shera. I'm the Director of Development and Philanthropic Services at West Central Initiative. I'm sure Rick brought business cards because he always tries to get rid of them so he can retire. And I just keep ordering him more. So thanks for having us today, commissioners and staff, and a special thank you to Lene for putting us on this morning because we have Otter Tail County Commissioners budget meeting this afternoon. So I want to thank you all for your past support and partnership. And I believe you've seen the letter requesting our appropriation for 2027. I just want to quote a few numbers to you here before I get into the materials that Rick just handed out. And I'll try to move quickly because we're cutting into your break, I see. So in any event, we're still celebrating our 40th anniversary. We had an open house a couple of weeks ago, and we continue to celebrate 40 years. Last year, we asked for an appropriation of $11,040. This year, we're asking for $11,440. I'm sticking with the theme of 40th anniversary. Of course, you're welcome to change that number for what's appropriate to your budget. However, I want to point out that this past fiscal year, July 1, 2025 to June 30th, 2026, we made $337,604 in grants and loans. Over the past 40 years, that number has been $5.3 million in grants, $10.1 million in loans. So we like to think of this public-private partnership as a really great way to just promote collaboration and cooperation throughout the region. We have the privilege of being a regional development organization. Thank you, Commissioner Kalina, for sitting on that EDD board, and prior to that, Commissioner Kalina. We're also a community foundation. That's how we were created 40 years ago. So both of these hats allow us to bring in federal and state dollars as an economic development district, but we also, as a community foundation, write grants to other foundations, and we are able to leverage a lot of dollars coming into our region through McKnight Foundation, Otto Bremer Trust Foundation, an anonymous foundation that's given generously in the recent years and will be in the next 10 years giving more. And hopefully they'll let us tell you who that is when that commitment is made. So on that note, I want to just direct you to the materials in front of you, and I'll move quickly through these. We're going to start with our annual report from 2025, and I like to start at the back of the book, where it talks about our EDD board. And Commissioner Kalina is still in here because that must have been from a year or so ago.
Yeah.
And so,
Myers
but
replaced me.
Commissioner Meyer, you were at our last EDD meeting. I saw you there. We also have 2 board members from Douglas County, Ryan Rooney and Tyler Worth. And then the list of grants, we make grants through our WCI funds, but we also have several programs that we hold funds for here in Douglas County, and they're on this Douglas County resource list. So they also are making grants throughout the region. That's how we get to that total of $337,000. But Friends of Alexandria Nature Trail received a grant from us. Douglas County Car Care Program received a grant from us. This anonymous donor has been really intent on making funds available to communities under 1,000. And so we were able to get food out to food shelves through your outreach food shelf program here in Alexandria. And then a lot of work with early childhood grants, Douglas County Early Childhood Initiative, and Douglas County Early Childhood Oral Health. Then our list of contributors, we're always happy that every county, every of our 9 counties contributes to this fund. And so just moving towards the front of the book, we talk about our component funds, several of them here, as I mentioned. We talk about a thriving food system, and we've been doing some work in sustainability here in your region. Pages 16 and 17 are early childhood programs. Pages 15 and 14 are rural belonging, and we just received funds from Aspen Institute to do some Weaver Awards, so we'll be making grants in the next month. Rural Democracy Program, we're holding another summit in Moorhead as part of our anniversary celebration. That's on October 2nd. And our municipal solar cohort continues to do work throughout the region. I know that they've been talking with municipalities in Douglas County, and I'm reminded to tell you that we hope that we can get some programs going here. It's 100% cost-free to municipalities. We have grants and we have funding to help support that. And we're finding that not only are those buildings saving money on electricity, but they're making money that they sell back to the grid. We're looking at an opportunity to bring some dollars in to buy some solar for early childhood centers, daycare centers, because we know that they're struggling. Our early childhood coordinator, Marcia Erickson, has been working here in Douglas County, and we know that there's a need, especially for infants and toddlers, but sometimes the cost is so prohibitive that those programs need to be subsidized. So, like I said, I'll be brief. Rick Shera always wants me to point out our Rural Economic Development District flyer. He doesn't want to talk, but I told him I'm going to make him talk. So do you want to talk about some of the economic development and lending programs we've done to start up businesses here?
Well, we just did a loan to a company in Nelson, and they do pavement striping. There was a story on our website and put out to the news media about Shoreline Surface Solutions. And a lot of times these businesses come to us through referrals from your local the banks or economic development with Nicole, things like that. They come referrals to us. And so that was a nice loan for us, and we continue to work on that. We actually hit over 3 million in loans in the past year, which I think was a record. So that economic development, the business loan portion of our work has really grown. We do have 2 people working on that too. But I also want to say, I heard earlier that you mentioned Iran, you know, these small city municipal water systems were hacked, right? We saw that news, and we had actually been working on since the spring, doing a series of regional meetings for towns of 500, 200, I know there's a town of 32 in our 9-county region, and to talk to them, to have them gather and get some advice and, you know, let's take a look at your systems that you're using. Are you adequately secure from those hackers, or do you have the right software using like .gov? And some people I know I send business email to a Google account, which might not be as secure. So those type of things, when they come up, we kind of try to respond to those for our small towns.
Any questions for us?
I thought I was going to give a fishing report, but I guess not.
Thanks for what you do for us, and have a good day. We don't have any questions.
Thank
Okay,
you.
Thank you. Now you can have your break.
There you go. Okay, you
Thanks for
guys
having
get
us.
5 minutes. Bring the meeting back to order, and Shelley K. Foster is here.
Hi.
Front row.
Yes, good morning, Mr. Chair
Good morning.
and Commissioners. Thank you for having us here today. I have with me Jan Mahoney, who is our treasurer, and we'll be happy to answer any questions along the way. So just to kick off with, we're going to head right into what's new. There we go. So what's new is we have a new brand, and we have changed over from Alexandria Senior Citizen Center, Inc., which we've been for 42 years, to Encore. So why did we rebrand? We really wanted to get a larger, broader audience to be attracted to this, to Encore, and also to be relevant to the new generation of older adults coming into the area. We want to create a modern, inclusive vision for aging in our community. And Encore will position us to be a welcoming hub dedicated to empowering individuals to live fully, actively, and vibrant at every age. We have a lot of new programs. We've been partnering with Rainbow Rider through a fund from the Medica grant, and we've given out over 1,200 tickets to members and guests so that they can come to the center and back with no cost. We're really, some of our challenges at our location is parking, so this has been a great program for us to partner with. We've also started Encore Explorers, getting our seniors out into the community. This is at Pope Douglas Solid Waste. We're going to Alexandria Aviation this month. And we started a first-time cash raffle that was very successful this year, and sold 1,500 tickets. And so that was a big undertaking. We're gonna be back at the fair this year, and we're excited about that. So we're getting geared up for that right now. Just back a little bit on our new branding. We did this with a whole input from the community leaders as well as from our volunteers. We have a really strong committee on our marketing team. So that was really done with the strength of our volunteers and input from our leaders. So what's certain? We're continuing to meet our mission to support active living for older adults through social, educational, and creative connections. And as evident, and to live by the values of commitment, community, and compassion. And this is something that our board came up with and really wants to, and is continuing to live by, and to serve the center by. Just one quick story. This last Friday, we had our birthday club, and we had over 60 people that attended. And this one person said, I just need to come because I want to be around people. So the need for socialization is real. Many people, when they tell their birthday memories or stories, they say this is the only party that we'll have this year for them. Okay, so our members at the Senior Center are from around the county. And we have a membership base, but we also have people that come into the center that are guests. We have a cousins group. They meet at Encore, and some of them are from Fergus Falls and some are from Sauk Center, but they meet at the Senior Center and have a place to gather and have lunch and play cards. So I'd like to just talk about that it's not just the members that belong and participate, but we have people from all over the county that come in for foot care and for our driver safety classes and different things like that. The thing that we also know for certain is that our costs are rising. Our insurance, utilities, repairs and maintenance continue to increase, and our deferred maintenance as well. And we're just really appreciative to the county's investment over the years, and it's made a significant difference with these rising costs and enabling us to meet those costs and continue to deliver the programs. Okay, a little bit of our impact. And our participation monthly is about 1,200, and we track that through a scanner. Everybody that's a member scans in, or you fill out a sheet each activity. So even if you're not a member, it's tracked. Our membership stays steady around 650. Lots of volunteer hours. We are powered by volunteers, and we have meals that are going out into the community, about 140 that are prepared and delivered by volunteers. We're kicking off our Sunday music events again. That'll be twice a month, starting in September. And we know that the residents of Douglas County, we're aging into that 30% are over 60 years old. Currently, we have one full-time staff and a .75 program manager who's doing an awesome job delivering our programs. And I'll talk more about our fundraisers in a minute. Here's just some highlights of our wellness and activities. We have a lot of new activities this year. A great partnership that I'm excited about is with Robin Trott at Douglas County Extension. She's doing a great job with on-the-road gardening classes. She came to us with that idea, and we've had great participation. We do tech time once a month with Luke from the library, and foot care, just to name a few. But the people that come in for foot care really rely on Cheryl to help them with. If you're diabetic, it's really important to take care of your feet, and sometimes people have said, I just can't reach my toes anymore. So they really need that service from Cheryl, and she does a fantastic job. We continue to do our major fundraisers, and we partner with the Lions Club. I won't go into all of them, but the picture down on the lower right is a group of volunteers that rehearsed and put on a play for our spring luncheon. It was a play that was written by Paulette Friday and then performed by our local talent. And that was a great fundraiser for us. It raised over $5,000 and run by a committee of volunteers. And we see the people there gearing up to make lefse for the event, this next fair starting tomorrow. We have a variety of workshops and classes, and we partner with people in the community to help deliver those because they have the expertise, and we have the people that need that expertise. So we put those two together. As you see, your very own Julie Anderson is there. We've done Safety for Seniors for the last 5 years with Julie. And that's a great partnership. So our whole goal is to keep our seniors healthy and independent, and we do that through a variety of activities and services, and that also helps keep our seniors out of the social services for a long-term investment. I mentioned Meals on Wheels. 34,000 meals are prepared and were delivered in 2025. We partnered with middle school to they help us wash our windows and clean out our gardens. And our Fix-It clinics have been very popular. So looking to the future, our fiscal vision, we have a development committee now that's really looking to that. What's our vision and how can we continue to be stable? We're continuing to pursue grants. We'll budget conservatively. And we have a transition team that's looking at our facilities options. And as you know, we didn't make that move to the Y, but now we're looking at what's the next best option for us. And we have a team that is looking at that and meeting monthly to determine what's the best steps forward. So our path to sustainability and growth, I talked about a development committee. We'll continue to go to major events like the Home and Garden Show, Senior Expo, the Douglas County Fair, adding a new one, Hearts of Service. So just getting out there and letting people know about our services, evaluating our fees. If you come to the Senior Center to play pool or mahjong or do any activities, there's a small fee for it, and that helps us to keep our lights on. That generates about $35,000 or more a year. So the investment by the county of $25,000 will help Encore serve the people that you serve in Douglas County. I have just a few comments I'd like to share that people have shared with me. I won't go into all of them in detail, but I will mention that this one person said, I wish there was an Encore in every city in America. And she said that as she was looking at our programs and our website. It helps keep people new, brings people that are new to town, come to the Senior Center and to answer questions. Dale mentioned the Senior Center has been a lifeline for me since my wife went into memory care, and it keeps people in Alexandria. Carol was looking to move to Parker's, and because of the healthcare and because of the services that we offered, she wanted to stay in the area. We have National Senior Center Month this September, so we invite you to come on over. We're going to have free rolls, free lunch. Janet's going to make up a great lunch for us, and we're offering some discounts to really incentivize membership. We want to continue to grow our membership. So I just want to say thank you for playing a key part in helping our seniors stay active, healthy, and a vital part of our local economy and community.
Thank you. Any questions?
Mr. Chair, I got a couple of questions. Yeah.
Go ahead, Jared.
Okay, do you ever use meat raffles for raising money?
We haven't, no.
Because I see they raised the rate on that, and it seems like meat raffles always go over well. I just.
Yeah, it's a great idea.
And then how about Rainbow Rider? Do you guys use Rainbow Rider pretty much for the county townships? Do they use Rainbow Rider to get to?
They do, and it's been a really great program with the Medica grant that we have. We've been able to distribute packets of Rainbow Rider tickets. There's 25 in a packet, and we've distributed over 50 of those packets free of charge. And that the grant also covers some staff time and promotion time as well. So we have at least 50 people out there that are using the Rainbow Rider, and it's been a great resource. One woman, Sandy, had commented that they pick me up. I don't have to get in my car. It's warm. They're really friendly, and they drop me right off.
It's a good deal.
She was very happy with the service, especially in the winter.
Yeah, I see back in one of your slides there, you had roof replacement for $17,000. Did they replace the roof on the senior center?
We share those costs with the apartments that are above us.
Oh, I see,
And
because that
so-
was really cheap. I thought you just.
Right,
okay,
right.
Okay.
We pay 33%, they pay
I
67%.
get it. Okay, makes sense. And this is a silly question, but it's real. Do you save the toenails that you clip over there? Because they claim that the artists use that in their artistry for painting. I ain't kidding you. I saw it on TV.
Oh my gosh.
Quit watching TV.
We'll have to inquire
I'm
with
just
Jill.
kidding. And there was actually a sale on.
I'm sure they do.
They did. They did.
Well, there you go, another fundraiser. We'll have Cheryl collect those.
Jeff, what'd you have?
Mr. Chair, I have a comment. Thank you for what you do in the community and providing resources for our senior citizens in Douglas County. And I'm looking at the list of workshops and classes, and one of the things that I suggest to open up an opportunity for stroke patients and kind of like a support group. And my parents is an example. My mom suffered a stroke a year and a half ago, and they're looking for a support group, and they have to travel all the way to Fergus Falls. And so why not have an opportunity to have something like that here in Douglas County? And so just kind of put that bug into the air, but thank you for what you do in our community.
Well, thank you for making that comment. I appreciate that. And we'll definitely take that into consideration. I know there's an initiative out there for aging pathways, and there's a lot of different opportunities. So we would be happy to host a support group for that. That'd be awesome. That's what we're here for, is to get ideas. Like, there's a memory cafe. We're looking at how we can partner with them to host their activities as well, because we have the 3 best pool tables in Alexandria that I've heard, and that'd be a great way to get people together. So we're always looking to partner.
You're thinking about things you can have a pool tournament. Charge.
Yes, we'll get George
All right.
Weatherwax to put that together.
Anything else? Keep taking your granddaughter to Hook and Slice to practice her golf.
Yes, that was
She'll
fun.
do well. I seen her there last night.
Yeah.
She had her grandkid in there. That was pretty cool.
Thank you so much.
Have a good one.
Thank you.
Jay Sealing, Douglas County Water Quality Legacy Fund.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Good morning, commissioners. Good to see you all again this morning, and I know it's quite a day for you all, so I'll do my best to be brief. I've sat before you the last 2 years on behalf of the Water Quality Legacy Fund. The Douglas County Water Quality Legacy Fund was brought into being to protect and restore our natural water resources in Douglas County and to complement existing efforts to protect and improve both surface water and groundwater quality and quantity in Douglas County while providing the greatest potential benefits for our water and quality of life for generations to come. Douglas County is known for its water. We contain 4 major watersheds, actually touched by a 5th. We contain over 300 lakes, so clean water is vital to the health of our community. We depend on high-quality groundwater for drinking. We enjoy our lakes and streams for boating, fishing, swimming, and we appreciate our lakes, streams, and wetlands for providing critical wildlife habitat and wildlife viewing. Our local water resources are an economic driver, providing direct and indirect business opportunities. The Alexandria area has been voted one of Minnesota's best for summer and winter fun events and as an ice fishing destination. We need good water quality for our permanent and seasonal residents, annual visitors, and future generations. Right now, almost every lake in Douglas County is listed on the 2026 impaired waters list, and it's either because of nutrients or mercury levels found in fish. Lake Carlos, on our chain of lakes, currently has a B grade for health. It is listed as a sentinel lake, which means it is undergoing more scrutiny than others. It's kind of a bellwether lake, so it is studied very, very closely. The rest of the chain, Lahamadou, Darling, Lahamadou, Darling, and Geneva down to Victoria and include Jesse, all have a C+ grade as their top score. The city chain of lakes, Winona, Henry, and Agnes, hold D and D+ scores on lake health. There's no lakes in Douglas County with an A health score, and there are only a handful of B grades in Douglas County. So we can and need to do better. We need to improve and maintain our water quality. It's vital to protect our most precious resource. So the Douglas County Water Quality Legacy Fund was established as a component fund. It's held by West Central Initiative and uses the county appropriations to provide matching required dollars for grants and other sources to protect and restore natural water resources. The component fund provides a sustainable source of funding to restore and keep our waters healthy for generations to come. And I've provided a current summary of the finances and contributions that are held at West Central and the listing of past projects and projects that are kind of on the horizon. In total, the fund has provided almost, I think it was, I don't have the totals on this page, but it's approximately $2.5, almost $3 million in funding. There we go, $2.7 million in funding. And we've provided the matching funds for almost $300,000 of that. Most of these projects are done with a sponsoring group such as Soil and Water Conservation Districts or Fish and Wildlife Service, and those granting agencies will require matching funds from an individual landowner or other group to be able to secure those grant funds. And so that is why the Water Quality Legacy Fund exists, to be a source to be able to put those matching dollars up in order to secure those larger grants for these projects. So in the years past, every year that this has been, this will be my 3rd year up here. Before this, Steve Henry and Gene Rose made the presentations, and they have asked every year since its existence for an appropriation of $50,000, making the same ask today. Thank you.
Thanks, Jay. Any questions?
Thanks, Jay.
We're all good?
All
Thanks,
right.
Jay.
Thank you, guys.
At this time, I'd call up Heather Pender, Aging Director for Dancing Sky. Jerry sits on that board.
I do.
That's pretty young for an aging director. No kidding. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you all?
We're good.
Good. Well, I want to say thank you for having me today and allowing some time to present on Dancing Sky, Area Agency on Aging. We operate under the auspices of the Northwest Regional Development Commission. So our request of around $9,000 comes for matching funds for the Federal Older Americans Act. So as the Area Agency on Aging, we are tasked with administering out the Federal Older Americans Act, which comes in several different buckets of funding. So the buckets are 3B, which provides chore, caregiver, transportation services. So grantees apply to us to fund those programs and supports. We support Title IIIC, which is congregate and home delivered meals. So primarily in Douglas County, offered through the Senior Center. Nutrition Services Incorporated is the nutrition provider that provides senior meals and dining for all 21 counties through Dancing Sky. There's also 3E, which is caregiver support funding for respite type services, things like that. And then also 3D, which is evidence-based classes. So those are also classes that happen throughout the 21 counties with the Federal Older Americans Act funds. Another major part of the work that Dancing Sky does is we help support Minnesota Aging Pathways, which was formerly the Senior Linkage Line. So that's been rebranded, different name, same services and supports. So what we do with that is help support the phone lines. So folks can call in Monday through Friday, 8 to 4:30, have questions and concerns answered. Primarily, a lot of the calls are related to Medicare. Medicare is very hard to navigate, it's hard to understand. So when they call in, they can get help or support understanding a plan, signing up. The bulk of our work happens during open enrollment as well related to Medicare. So folks can call in and have support with plan comparisons and things like that. We also work with resource coordination through Minnesota Aging Pathways. So that's that transition time for folks that maybe have had a nursing home stay, assisted living stay, and are looking to go back to the community. They also might be someone who's living in the community and have been identified as, maybe needing some additional help, support, coaching on where to go for services, how to sign up for services, and that's where a resource coordinator can help. Kind of come in and, maybe support their longevity in a community setting versus, being in a care facility and, running that risk of spending down to Medicaid services. So really kind of a preventative approach for planning and coordination and support. So Mary Kruger is our team member. She actually lives in Douglas County here and works with the resource coordination primarily in this area. So through Minnesota Aging Pathways in 2025, last year, we served roughly 700 folks between the calls and the in-person resource coordination support. So there again, a service that's very highly utilized throughout the year. Another kind of project that I presented and shared with you guys last year was the RAPS project. So that was a special grant that we worked with the adult protection units on and had direct service funds. Douglas County was a great partner within that work, and Mary and I just had come back from San Diego. We presented on the benefit of the RAPS project, but we also submitted and won an Aging and Achievement Award for the project. So just very proud of, our work and, collaboration with the county on being able to help serve and support older adults. So I will pause, and I did bring a paper copy of our year in review just because I like to look at the numbers on paper versus on a screen. So I have that for you all to review, but questions or concerns?
Yeah, Mr. Chair, so I just got to ask that number that you have down here at the bottom of this page, 218-745-6733. Does a real person answer that phone number, or is that a machine?
So that is our main office in Warren, so our admin support should answer that. But the 800 number that folks call in, that is a live person, and we are all staffed in Minnesota. So it depends, like if you want our main Warren office and to be paged to like someone like myself or, you know, a development staff, something like that, that's our main kind of number. But if you're looking to reach Minnesota Aging Pathways, it is that 800 number. But as I mentioned, we are all staffed within this.
I just think it's so important that a person answers the phone versus a machine, and you start going through push 1 for this and 2 for that. I just get frustrated when you get there and then you get put on another machine.
Yeah.
That's just something that I think if whatever you can do to make sure a human answers that phone, better.
And so when folks do call Minnesota Aging Pathways, there is 2 queues, so they can push a number and then it does, but a live person answers. And there again, with the call volume, especially during open enrollment, there is sometimes a wait period for those calls, but there again, they're not then transferred outside of us. We can transfer to like Social Security, things like that. But the other benefit of Minnesota Aging Pathways is we will call with them. So we have the ability to add on, I think, up to like 7 lines. So we could even, in theory, pull in a caregiver, Social Security, you know, Medicare, and have multiple people on the call and be able to, you know, navigate that situation.
Oh, thank you.
Mr. Chair.
Yes, go ahead.
Say, you said that the Dancing Sky works with our senior center with the Meals on Wheels. Did Dancing Sky pay for the food? How is the share?
Yep, so through the Older Americans Act, those funds are transferred to our grantee, which is Nutrition Services Incorporated, NSI, and then NSI contracts with the senior center to provide the meals.
Okay.
So that's where the match funding goes to support our request to the Board on Aging for the federal funds, and then we re-grant those out. So Dancing Sky for the federal funds are basically a re-grant agency.
Federal funds, does that help them get the commodities and stuff still for?
Yep, so they can use those federal funds on, you know, staffing, food, those sorts of things. There again, sometimes the contracts, NSI negotiates, you know, if there is like a lease agreement or things like that that are also
They even help with all that,
funded.
with
Yep.
the facility. Okay.
Yep, facility. And then, you know, through the Federal Older Americans Act, no one is denied service. But like with Meals on Wheels, they do have a voluntary contribution form that's sent out. So, you know, using myself as an example, if I am 60 plus and I received 30 meals a month at the end of September, I would get, it's not a bill, but it is, you know, a letter that says, Heather, you received 30 meals. The average cost at this site is, let's say, $9. You know, can you contribute to the program? And then if someone contributes, that fund goes directly back to nutrition and to expand or enhance those services. So any program income, it goes directly back to the meals.
But they're basically just asking for a donation because they wouldn't deliver them if it wasn't for of need in the first place, correct?
So they, yeah, we can't charge for the meals, but they can ask for voluntary, you know, contributions, so.
Good.
Any other questions? Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a good day. Thanks. Tara, Alexandria Chamber of Commerce. Good morning.
Good morning.
Still morning, it is.
I'll try to shave a couple minutes off mine and get you back on schedule.
Thank you.
So Alexandria Chamber, many of you know our highlight from the past year was finally relocating, something that's been talked about for well before my tenure, and I've been here 10 years already. So we moved across the street to 203 Broadway, the old Real Estate by Joe building where we are now housed with the Economic Development Commission, Explore Alexandria Tourism, Alexandria Township, and Hometown Planning all under one roof. And it's everything we envisioned it to be. And so now we're off and running on more collaborative programming and We're all settled and have our own on-site conference room. So that was a very exciting highlight for us in the last year. Much of our work collaboratively with the Economic Development Commission focuses on that business and workforce. Our newest program that we're just rolling out now, starting this fall, is the Neighborhood Navigators Program. That's a partnership with the Chamber and the Economic Development Commission. Again, to address that need for workforce and not just attracting, but this is really about retaining. People move into the community to take jobs here. If they don't engage, if they don't get roots down, they move off to another community. We attempted this a few years ago with a different program called Hello Neighbor. It needed some tweaking. It didn't quite fulfill the mission, so we ended that program. We went back to the drawing board, and now we're rolling out a new program called Neighborhood Navigators. We actually have people in the community designated as navigators who are gonna meet with and work alongside some of the newer residents in the quarterly programming that we have. So they'll be there as direct contacts and resources, and we're excited about this new format. So you'll be getting more information on that in the next week or two, because we're just ready to start really marketing that. So also under workforce development and attraction and retention, we still provide the relocation packets to people considering moves here, people who've moved here, to try to get them connected to all the resources they need. We have a job portal on our website. Our Alexandria Area Young Professionals is a very vibrant group. They're doing great things in the community, but again, it's the young people we're trying to get connected and get engaged so that they choose to settle down here and raise their families here. We're also active legislatively with the Minnesota Chamber Federation. Chamber bucks, you also may know a big highlight in the past year was that we finally transitioned those old-fashioned paper chamber bucks to digital cards. That was not an easy process because there's a lot of card options out there, but again, the highlight for us was making sure that they were a closed-loop system, which meant you can't type the numbers into Amazon and spend it. So if a business isn't onboarded by us, somebody can try to use the card there, it will not work. So it's a closed-loop system meant to keep dollars local. That gets a little bit more cumbersome with some point-of-sale systems with some of our businesses, but we're working through those. We go on site, we help train them, get them onboarded. So we're currently at about 75 local businesses accepting those and hoping to continue growing that. The other programs sunset at the end of June, and those paper chamber bucks are no longer good for anything. On the highlight sheet that I sent you on the second page of what's up there, last year in 2025, we kept just under $70,000 local through that Chamber Bucks program. And that was during our year of transition from the paper to the cards. So we were down a little bit because of that transition, but that should go up again. So it is a valuable program for keeping things local. More collaborative opportunities. We're partnering with the school district and the Alexandria Community Foundation on some more leadership trainings coming into the community. We're launching the building of a community of character. So we're a sample community that Youth Frontiers and Leadership Frontiers is using to try to build a community of character. They've often done a lot of programming in the schools and with youth, but we're expanding that to adults as well. And again, what does it mean to be a person of character? We want to try to build that language so it's common among all age levels. And so there's programming in the schools, there's parent programming. The Chamber will be, and the Economic Development Commission will be sponsoring a business Geometry of a Leader programming this fall as well. All of these programs tied together, so hopefully it becomes language that you hear out and about in the community a lot. I will be sending you more information on that as well, just as an FYI in case any of you are interested in taking part in that. Again, the Chamber, where costs are going up, and you hear that over and over from the entities coming in, the Chamber doesn't come to you for an allocation to help us run our programming, more so because of the way governmental entities are set up, you can't technically be a member of the Chamber. And yet it's very important to show the collaboration and the partnership. So all we ask of you, and I'm not going to increase that, is that you're coming in at the top tier level of our dues. Our highest members are paying $4,000. That's what I've requested from you the last several years, and that's the request again going this year. We asked the city and county each to contribute at that level to match a lot of our top employers in the community just to support the work that we do. Costs are going up on a lot of other things, but we'll find ways to support our programming and make it cash flow. So we're not technically asking for support in that, just more of that you're a member in good standing. You can access all the chamber member benefits off of that, which is includes posting job listings for the county on our website and using our e-blast system to get information out and communicating with members at Wake Up Alexandria, and then reduce pricing for any programs we have, such as Leadership Alexandria. So it's more of an ask that you continue your membership with the chamber in the amount of $4,000 for 2027. Any questions of me?
Mr. Chair, so 654 businesses and organizations, is that all from Douglas County?
Yeah, there's a couple that are outside the area. There's some companies, like if they have a rep that serves this area, that the company itself may not physically be located here, but if they have a rep that serves the area, they will join our chamber. Yes. And that includes our nonprofit members as well. I mean, even our Rotary Club and our Sertoma Club, they're chamber members.
Tara, Mr. Chair, do we have any employees using the chamber programs or not? Lee, I don't know, maybe that's a question.
Julie Anderson is really your connect with the chamber membership. She utilizes it, posts job openings, utilizes our e-blast system, communicates regularly with me about different benefits and things. So Julie's the one that I most frequently communicate with.
Yep, okay.
Tara, has anybody from the county used the leadership program?
You have very rarely. 2 years ago, we had somebody through the sheriff's department, but we don't have anybody in the class. It just is kicking off now.
It's probably something we could promote with Julie and Lee, yeah, because there's probably a few would be great for them. So
Yeah,
they're
there's
shaking their head yes back there.
There's a lot of great connections made.
Yep.
It's really good networking for that program. Absolutely.
Perfect. Anything else? Thanks. Have a
All
good day.
right, thank you.
This time, I'd like to call up Wendy Rowland, Central Minnesota Elder Network.
Good morning, Mr. Chair, Commissioners.
Good morning.
Thank you for letting me speak with you today. Elder Network provides a variety of programs to enhance and improve the lives of seniors in Douglas County. We started with one program, which was our visiting program 30 years ago, and we have grown to 6 programs currently. So I submitted 3 documents that you will be seeing. Our appropriation request. There's a blue shaded document, which is our community impact, some highlights from last year. And then finally, there'll be some photos from one of our programs. So other presentations have just made me think of different things I wanted to talk to you about. We'll try not to make this too just disjointed, but Heather Pender talked about Dancing Sky, and Dancing Sky is one of our major grantors. And so we received the Federal Older Americans Act dollars for caregiver support, and those are Title IIIE dollars, and she kind of went through those programs. And so that really helps with our respite program and with our caregiver support program. And so so that is like 75% the federal dollars, 75-25. And so part of our appropriation request will go to the match, go to that 25% for that Older Americans Act grant or monies that we get through Dancing Sky. I just wanted to highlight that. So one of the programs that's a little harder to understand for others is our respite program. And Commissioner Way shared about his family situation. And so respite is giving a caregiver a break. So there are a lot of situations where people become a caregiver for someone else. And sometimes that's a process that develops over time. A partner has dementia. a Parkinson's disease, something where it's a progressive, and they just gradually become more of a caregiver. And sometimes it's a very sudden thing. There is a sudden health incident, there's an accident, but all caregivers go through a process of trying to figure out how to do this. And it can be very overwhelming. And we have caregiver coaches that can help caregivers with that through that process. And then we have 2 different respite programs. One is an in-home program where we would match up a volunteer to go in and stay with that person that needs the care, not medical care, but social. We're a social program. And then we also have what's called Coffee Break, and that is an out-of-home respite where the care receiver would come, they spend a couple hours, they have fun, they have coffee, they play games, they do all sorts of things, and the caregiver has a break to do their own things. So I just wanted to kind of highlight that because some people don't really understand what that really means, and it's becoming a larger portion of what we do all the time. And just to piggyback on that, I just wanted to share a story. This was just from last week. We get calls from people that they just don't know where to start. Something's happened, they just don't know who to reach out to. And a person reached out to us. She's caregiving for her mother, who has some health issues. They're using a local home health agency for some respite, but the cost is becoming prohibitive for them. And so she learned about us, called to see what we could do, could we help at all? And so we went out, we talked with her mother, decided that yes, definitely it would work for us. It would be appropriate for us to have a volunteer in there. So we're placing a volunteer in. The mom came to Coffee Break, had a great time. The daughter was able to get to her medical appointment, and everything just worked out great. So that's just one of the ways that our respite program works. Any questions on that right now while I just pause briefly?
I do. I have a question for you. How do they find you? How do these people find you?
Yeah.
Especially if they're home alone and...
Most often now is an online search. They just search for senior services, senior help, respite, caregiving, that kind of thing. Senior Linkage Line, Aging Pathways, refers us. We get referrals from, a lot of times, the different clinics in town. The hospital will tell people about us, will tell if they see a patient. We just had that call in the last month or so. A care coordinator referred one of their patients to us, said, hey, you should check them out. So that's mainly, yeah.
Because I'm sure there's probably some that don't even have internet or anything though either.
Oh, sure. I mean, we have
hopefully
brochures all
somebody's
around. Like,
pushing it.
it's challenging because people don't really think about it until they actually have that need.
Good point.
You know, so we do the best we can about getting the word
Yeah,
out, but it's like you really just aren't paying attention until it's.
You can only do so much. I
Yeah,
get it.
yeah. I wanted to.
ahead.
Shelley Kay said that about the birthday party and how someone had said that would probably be the only birthday party that they had, and we hear that. I mean, for our clients in a visiting setting, well, in respite too. A lot of times, our volunteer is the only person that they see, the only person that really comes to visit them. Not to be dramatic, but that's just how it is. Or maybe they do have family members that come, but the family, it's a different relationship. Our volunteer can come in and talk with them about different things, hear their stories, look at their photo albums, whatever. And the family is more like very fact-based. Did you eat today? Did you, like caregiving kinds of things. And so if we can have a visitor go in and they can have like a friendship, a companionship situation. So that made me think of that when Shelley Kay said that about their birthday party.
So, Mr. Chair, I just got one question. Do you work in connection with Dancing Sky?
Yes, so we have a respite grant through them. Yep, we apply for, it's a contract grant, and so we report on services provided to them quarterly. And then annually, we have to reapply for the grant. So we are asking to maintain, if the county would maintain their support for Elder Network at the $12,000 that we have been receiving, which is so appreciated and really helps us maintain our services. Yep, the last pictures these are from Coffee Break. So Coffee Break is where the Care Easy for comes. We have volunteers and staff there. It's staffed at a 1-to-1 or 1-to-2 ratio of volunteers and staff to clients. The silly picture on the top was we had someone come in and do photographs one day, and so they used a bunch of props, and they had a great time. And some of the other pictures on the first slide are from our amazing volunteer, Lee, who plays the ukulele. She brings Scout the dog. Our volunteers are just amazing. And then, yeah, the bottom one, our program coordinator wanted to make sure we used that picture on, what did I get the same picture? That says Love Grows Here. Those are some tote bags that they made, and she says that's what we do here. And so she really wanted to make sure that I included that picture. So
Wendy, where do you host the coffee break at?
we host that at the First Congregational Church right across the street there. They're very generous with their space, and it's been a great partnership.
All right, any other questions? Thank you.
You're welcome.
Have a
Thank
good
you
day.
very much. You too.
Did it take 5 or? you wanna keep- Let's finish this page. We'll bring up Brad Breha. We're gonna skip break just for you, because I know you need to get out to the fairgrounds. Well, they might be saying that over there.
Good morning, Commissioners. Thank you, Chairman, for having me. I will correct something up there. I'm no longer the vice president. I got moved up into the presidency last year by default here, but here we are. So I'd like to start off first by thanking Commissioner Tim Kalina. I know he came on board and has been at all our meetings, and I know he's leaving here this year, but thank you, Tim, for coming out and being at our meetings. You guys don't know how nice that is to have a commissioner come actually to our meetings and hear what's going on. It makes a big difference. We go to our fair convention and the cities, and it's amazing how many counties or county commissioners don't have anything to do with the fair other than giving them some money. So thank you, Tim, and thank you, board, for allowing that to happen. I'm here today just to ask for our appropriation that we annually ask for, but I'd also like to give you a little bit of information about our fair last year and some things that are going on this year. Last year, we exceeded, for the first time, 64,000 people came through our fair. Now, granted, a lot of those were repeat people coming back. Our $10 season pass, where it's one day or all days, made a huge difference, so we kept it this year, trying to keep it affordable. So for $10, you can come and go as many times as you want. We found our vendors really liked it because a lot of business people were coming out there. They'd come out, have lunch, and go back to work, and then come back later that night. So made the vendors very happy. There's a group of people that we have to keep happy at the fair, several. We have to keep our vendors happy. We have to keep 4-H happy, but most importantly, we have to keep the public happy, because that's who makes our fair. We can put all the work we want into it, but if they don't feel that they're getting their money's worth, and if they don't feel that they're getting something of value, they're not coming back. Right now, last year, I believe we were the 10th largest fair in the state of Minnesota. That compares with all the metro ones and everything. We were one of the very few fairs that our animals are growing as far as how many animals we have out there. Most fairs that we talk to, their animals are depleting. Some fairs in the state of Minnesota, as I stated last year, have no animals at all. And that's sad. It's very interesting to me. I found, I never knew this until I got on the board, that many kids rent animals. That in a lot of the 4-H kids don't even live on farms. Some of you probably knew that. I did not, that they rent animals and they're responsible for them all summer long. And then they come out and show them, and then the animals go back. for that reason, the largest number of animals growing at our fair is goats. We right now are in the process of ordering a whole bunch of new pens that are goat size. We are going to have over 200 goats at our fair this year. That just amazes me. I had goats as a kid when I was growing up, and I'm just amazed by that goats are that popular. So our horse barn is now turning partially into a goat barn because our goat barn is overfull. So if you want to know anything about goats, they're going to be out there this year. 4-H is a huge part of our fair. We support 4-H in every manner we can. We take great pride that 4-H in Minnesota was started right here in Alexandria by T.A. Dad Erickson, which is why our pavilion is named after him. I believe Tara Bitson, who is behind me, has some history with some of the fair and stuff out there with relatives. So there's a lot of people in Douglas County that are related to people that were very huge into the fair. We like to keep that way. That gives us great pride. So that brings me to the question, where does your money go that you give us? Do we use that for paying employees? And the answer is no. That money goes to our costs of upgrading our buildings. It goes towards bringing in acts. This year alone, we are spending over $300,000 just on bringing in musical acts into the grandstand. They do not come cheap. So that's where that money goes, is to help us do that. People ask, why do we charge at our fair? We're one of the very few fairs that in our central Minnesota here that charge. Well, as you well know, we own our fairgrounds now. After making the deal with the county and with the city, we own that. As a result, we have to pay maintenance on our buildings. We have to pay insurance on our building. We pay taxes on stuff. All of that stuff adds up, and that's where that $10 fee goes, along with the money allocated by the commissioners. And we are very, very appreciative of the money that we get from you guys. If you look at our fairgrounds, we take great pride in how they look. We keep our buildings up, but as you know, buildings have to be replaced. And we've got 2 buildings right now that we're gonna have to be looking at replacing in the near future, and that's our poultry barn and our goat barn. We've got a future plan in place for that we can show people that what we'd like to do, but as you well know, to replace buildings is incredible. The amount of dollars it takes to build a new building and to do it right. So we are planning on replacing buildings and keeping it up. We would like to make our grounds a year-round use, which is why that playground is in there. If you drive out there on any day, you're gonna see kids playing on that playground out there. People like it because it's a nice place. Daily, people are walking out there, walking their dogs. We have had multiple different groups rent it this year. My wife is in charge of off-season rental for all of that. We've had family reunions out there. We just had a grassland, I'm gonna go bad here, grassland something dog group. There were over 100 and some dogs out there that do various trainings and various acts that they do. They use it, they are already planning on coming back. We had a goat show out there, they're already planning on coming back because of what they've seen out there. And so as a result of this, we want to make that more into a community grounds that can be used more year-round for activities and expand. I was on the radio this morning, I talked a little bit about this, and it's interesting. Alexandria, the city and surrounding area, is so blessed with all the activities we have going on. If you look this past week, I was talking about that, we had the air show on Sunday. Tonight there's a Rotary corn and pork chop feed. We start the fair tomorrow, and then it just continues. So we know that vying for money is hard. Several of you own businesses. I can't imagine how much money is requested from your business in this area. So we're very appreciative of every dollar. We do not want to compete with other things that are going on because, as I said, it's just as important. These other ones are just as important. But we do feel the fair is worth some money. It's worth some money to have those 60-some thousand people come through. It's worth the money to see the 4-H kids expanding and getting the opportunities to do what they are allowed to do by being a member of our fair, by us putting this fair on. And so with that, I will tell you what's coming this year. This year we have our 2 big music concerts. but Friday night is a very special concert. Aaron Tippin and our own Connie Lee are going to be putting on a tribute to the 250th birthday of the United States of America. As a result of that, all veterans can go to their VFWs, to their Legions, to wherever, veterans current and veterans past, and they can get a pass. All veterans will be allowed into the gate on Friday, not only the concert, but if they have the ticket, they're going to get into our gate free, and they will also get into the Friday night concert. They will be honored on the TVs and big screen for being there, along with that. Furthermore, if you come out, and I'm going to encourage everybody to come out on Wednesday morning, the monument that was formerly in front of the RCC, Vinnie contacted me several years ago when they started the remodeling project and asked if we would be interested in that, and I gladly took it. Fergus Falls Monument stored it for us. It is now in place out there. If you drive through right by the playground, we now have that mounted there along with the benches and the flag poles, in addition to a paver project. For $100, you can buy a paver, and that monument is going to be there permanently and honored to all the people, all the veterans, current and past there. In addition, I contacted Rock On Trucks in St. Cloud. We've had them in the past. And I bring this up because I asked for a tribute trailer, and normally they bring just a regular trailer. Yesterday, when they were pulled in, Darla and I were totally shocked. This is not a regular trailer. I'm going to go kind of away from the fair board here and just encourage everybody to come out there tomorrow. Kevin, the owner of Rock On Trucks, I asked him how he came up with this, and he said he laid in bed one night and thought about this. It is a semi-trailer that expands. It pulls out, it doesn't look like a regular trailer. On there is a replica of the Vietnam Veterans Memorial, to a point, not exact. Every name that is on the Vietnam Veterans Memorial, over 50-some thousand names are on that trailer. It took them 4 months to put it on there. In addition, there's tributes to the POWs on there. It is an absolutely amazing trailer. It will be fully decorated tomorrow. It's not right now, but it will be tomorrow. I would like every veteran, everybody to come out there. And the reason it's so special is you're going to see who sacrificed their life. He's also got information on there. Over 1,800 veterans died on their last day of service in Vietnam. There were 2 kids that were 16 years old that died. It's interesting information. I would encourage all veterans to come out and take a look. Why do I bring that up? It's kind of a sad thing, but it's going to remind us what it costs to be able to enjoy the fair that we have. And Kevin told it best yesterday. He said, I want you to remember these guys, remember what they gave, and then have the fun at the fair because of what they gave for us to do it. With that, I will open it up for any questions and go from there. So
What time is that tomorrow?
that is at 9 a.m. tomorrow morning, the dedication of the memorial. There's some people going to be there that were there when that original memorial was dedicated. I found that out this morning. So 9 a.m. tomorrow morning.
Mr. Chair, so Brad, is there any plan to like check with the different pole barn builders for if you need a new shed that would want to, advertise their shed? I would think they would give you a fairly good deal to know that
Yes.
you're advertising their materials.
That is in the process. We have to come up with a plan first. We hired an agency out of Iowa that strictly develops fairgrounds, and they're coming up with a master plan for us on what to do. Right now, most of our buildings are named by sponsors, have named them and
Yes,
stuff.
yeah.
And so we will be, when we come up with a plan and have a reasonable dollar amount that we can really, realistic shoot for, that will be discussed.
Great.
Thank you though, Mr. Commissioner Rapp.
Brad, I got another question, and of course, you heard it this morning already. I've been asked 100 times about a discount for seniors tomorrow. And you said this morning you weren't having one.
Right.
Is there something you can look into maybe in the future? I don't know it. I know it makes it complicated at the gate. But and they always call the Douglas County because they figure we're putting the fair on.
What we discussed, Commissioner Schmidt, was we talked about that, and then we thought, you're right, it is very confusing at the gate for
Yeah.
people. Part of why we went to the $10 season pass was because of that. This way we can all offer everybody the $10, and those seniors don't just have to come on senior day. They can come back without having to pay a second day. So you may come out with your grandkids one day, come out by yourself the second day. That was part of our thinking about the $10 for all 4 days. Tomorrow is senior day. Vivi is sponsoring. There will be a lot of different things for seniors. I also want to recommend, or say at 2 o'clock, we will be honoring 6 outstanding seniors. We pay for their plaques and the cakes. And then I believe it's on Saturday, Commissioner Way, the farm family. I have those tickets for you, by the way. We honor the farm family of the year out there. We had no Century Farms this year submitted and stuff, but we will be honoring those seniors tomorrow. Those outstanding seniors get in free too. But that is, to answer your question, that's part of why we went with the
Right.
$10.
Some of the
4-day
seniors
pass.
that are coming are only gonna come once because they're in wheelchairs or whatever, and that's your decision, it's not
Yep.
mine. And the other thing they asked was, is there a daily rate?
Is
Or
there a
it's
what?
A daily rate, so if I come for one day, it doesn't matter, it's
$10.
$10. Thank you, because
Yeah,
I've been
it just-
called on it, and I
just
said,
keeps
I
it
have
simple.
no idea. And
Well,
it's not on
believe
your
me, we hear
webpage, because
about
I
it.
looked it up.
Yep, no, but it's $10 all the way across.
Got it.
Mr. Chair, I think you should mention the old Water Patrol building.
Oh, yes. You'll notice the old Water Patrol building that we were able to move that. And that is now, the public should know, we offered that to both the city and the county, and neither one were in a position to take it. So we did move that building. It's off corner one of the racetrack. It's now set to go, and we will be using that. It's fully concreted, and I will be painting a target on the top of that. I already am up. I've got donations up to $150 for the first car that goes off corner one and lands on the roof of our Water Patrol building. So we'll see what happens.
Goats in the damn thing.
What's that?
Put some goats in there.
Yeah. Yeah. So we'll see what happens. So we'll see if anybody hits it. So other questions?
Mr. Chair, Mr. Brad, thank you for what you're doing and contributing to the Douglas County Fair.
Yeah, thank you.
And it's amazing. My kids were in 4-H, and they were heavily involved in the goat project. And that was over 10 years ago. And they may be having 100 goats there back then. Now we're looking at it double this.
At least, yeah.
And I used to be on the state goat committee down at the state fair. And it was a struggle trying to find pens to accommodate all the goats from 87 different counties. And so it's an easy project for the kids to get involved, and it's a small animal. And so that's why we're seeing a popularity and a thing. So thank you for.
Yeah. Oh, it's fun to watch. I mean, I was never in 4-H. I was a Boy Scout, but I got to tell you, it's what these kids put into it is just, you know. And I was in law enforcement for 33 years. I know what it's like. There's bad kids, but I'll tell you what, when you see the work these kids put into it, and they're our future leaders, it just absolutely floors me how much work they put in and how much knowledge. You see them walking around out there. Yesterday, there was a little girl about 6 years old walking around with her ribbons, and I asked her what she got her ribbons, and she sat there for 5 minutes and explained what every ribbon was for. They could have been participation ribbons. I have no idea, but what an amazing, and I thank you, Commissioner Way, for thanking me, but this is a community thing. We could not put that fair on without all the volunteers and everybody we have. It's fun. You got to have a passion for it, and I do. I love it. I hope that comes through. I love the fair. So.
All right.
Anything else?
Nope. Thanks, Brad.
All right.
We'll
Thank
see
you
out
guys
there.
very much.
Have a good day.
All right.
We're gonna take 5. We're gonna take 5 minutes. We'll be right back.
Thanks, Brad. Thank you.
I agree. We've only been here since 8:15.
Ideal ever.
All right, we'll bring the meeting back to order. At this time, Brittany Johnson, Douglas County Historical Society is up. Your turn.
Good morning. Thank you for having us in this morning. I'm really excited to give you the overview of what we've been doing sort of in the past year and where we're going next. The Douglas County Historical Society is a separate 501c3, which, as we work in the community, we are discovering a lot of folks assume we are just already a branch of the county government. So we've been working a lot to educate people about what that means for what we do, our funding, and our mission, which is, of course, to discover, preserve, and share the history of Douglas County and its people. I've included our business report there, giving a sort of 5-year overview of our financials, what's that has looked like. We're doing all right. Certainly this past year, the economic landscape has shifted, and we've seen that impact operations as well. Really excited, like I said, to talk to you about what we've been doing at DCHS, which particularly in this year, the Year of America 250, has been scaling up the variety and frequency of our programs and events to meet demand. We have growing number of guests at each event, which, as you can imagine, since we are headquartered in a building that was originally started in 1872, that means we get creative about where we're going in the community because we really can't host large-scale events at our spot. We've also been working on improving community accessibility to exhibits, artifacts, and programs. With our new collection software, we've actually been making most stuff available online through MN Collections, building new partnerships, meeting public requests for new research and presentations on specific historic topics. I'll touch on it a little bit later, but I mean, just as recently as Sunday, we've had so many requests for presentation on Indigenous and Native American history in the area, and we had standing room only 241 attendees at our Native American history talk. It was an amazing turnout, and when I say standing room only, I mean people were filing back into the caterer's kitchen in order to attend the presentation. We are providing improved experiences for visitors at the Knut Nelson House. This means in the exhibits, the research we are providing, as well as the space and what people can do there. And we've been overseeing multiple great grant-funded projects on our collection care as well as research. Where we're going next is preparing for more community and education-based programs in 2027. It's very flattering that usually when we finish one artifact chat or one presentation, the next question we get is, when are you doing this again? Because I need to bring my husband, my friend. Just tell me when the next one is and I'll be there. Continuing professional standards of care for our artifact collection, and improving and expanding the actual exhibit space at the Knut Nelson House. To give you an overview of those community programs and events, this summer we've been working a lot on History 250, which I was here earlier in the summer as we got ready for the History 250 Festival. Over the course of the weekend, I think we saw about 700 participants there. We had Family Day as part of that, Trivia Night. Really cool thing about the History 250 was that we were also able to tie it to local World War II history, since it fell on the anniversary of D-Day. We've had the Historic House Tour. We are once again operating the Douglas County Fair Museum out of the log cabin at the fair and offering walking tours. I'm really excited that this year we will be offering the Scan for Keeps free digitization workshops again. By the very nature of that program, it tends to attract a lot of seniors who are looking to, digitize and preserve their family photos and documents in a way that they can then share with their other family members, or just know that they have a backed up version digitally. We've developed lots of new traveling history exhibits, particularly this year. We've been really blessed to have some bus tours for conventions, speaker presentations. We debuted a new internship program this summer, and our big summer festivities are gonna wrap up with a finale at Oktoberfest at Copper Trail, where we will be talking about Prohibition and Germans in Douglas County. as well as the community programs, which really bring people together. We've had a lot of really great educational programs this year. So everything from our District 206 community education classes, demoing hands-on preservation science at the high school STEAM Expo. We've been in a lot of schools this year, and we've had a lot of students come through our building. We had a really great museum day field trip, actually, that brought 70 high schoolers through our building, rotating through 3 different stations. Our quarterly artifact chats, and as I mentioned, the first step in expanding our Native American scholarship in Douglas County, which had 241 people, which was way more than we kind of expected. A note on the research and artifact collection preservation, because I know that's something we get a lot of questions on, and it's maybe one of the most behind-the-scenes parts. Since January, we've been executing a $20,000 collections grant that allowed us to purchase supplies and hire a part-time employee to help work through the backlog. Now, backlogs are typically a very normal part of museums. The Smithsonian has a backlog. The only people who don't have backlogs are usually closed collections. By the end of this year alone, we will probably see 1,500 to 2,000 new items donated. Although if we have a week like we had last week, that'll go up to 5,000. A lot of people were cleaning out. Complete processing of a single artifact takes 35 to 90 minutes, including all of that documentation, database entry, photographing, conservation, and the stabilization and preparation for long-term collection. One thing that I think folks, maybe have the wrong idea is that we just take something and put it in a drawer. When we take in something like a World War I helmet that also has an asbestos layer, there's actually a lot of things we do in between storage to make sure it's safe. As well as outreach, people are very familiar with our newsletter, our social media education impacts, which continue to grow genuinely by millions. In terms of views we're getting, video engagement. When I talk about making programs accessible, a large part of that is turning our talks into videos, making sure people can reach them wherever they are. So again, large amounts of growth there. One project we are working towards is expanding exhibit space in the Knut Nelson House. We want that first floor to be a completely open public space, and part of that would mean converting office space into exhibit space where we could be rotating through different exhibits. Proposals for that do include working through some local photographers, livelihoods, families through generations and major events, and era and event-specific exhibits. Our 2027 request does include a section for this project, which, again, includes painting, refreshing that space, putting in some historically sympathetic details, because as we see from the historic house tours, there is a lot of desire and interest in historic architecture. So breaking it down this year, our 2027 request is $40,000. In Douglas County, we have an estimated population of just over 40,000, meaning that would be $1 for every resident, supporting local history, the programs we're making available, and the preservation that is going to make this collection available for generations to come. 10,000 of that would go to collection and preservation needs. As mentioned, the cataloging, rehousing, damage mitigation, keeping those research and collection services available and staffed. I know earlier in this packet, we averaged it out to maybe 2 to 3 research requests per week. In this past week, we've been seeing 3 a day as folks have been coming through, which is really exciting. 8,500 of that would go to community programming and events. So that's bringing our traveling exhibits to community events. That's developing new exhibits that fit the events we're visiting. For example, at Wings Over Alexandria yesterday, it's traveling exhibits on Freddie Lund and Belanca. We have 8,500 for the educational programming and events. So that's like our digitization and preservation workshops. that is being on-site in classrooms. This year, we've been to Callan Prep, we've been to the Christian Academy, we've done History Day collaborations, field trips. It's, again, developing new exhibits, those specific classes and workshops, and the Artifact Chat series, which has been very popular, bringing people kind of behind the scenes with us. And $8,000 of that goes to the creation of new exhibit space at the Knut Nelson House, which is increasingly necessary as our visitor district grows. This is the busiest summer we've had in terms of walk-ins, both looking for exhibits and research, which is great, and looking to make that historically sympathetic and improving that guest experience so that we can both increase the number of guests, but also improve the stories we are telling. I would love to answer any questions or expand on anything I have today.
Mr. Chair, I guess I would just make a note, that picture I got about the outdoor theater.
Yes.
And I think most of us remember the outdoor theater where Hilltop is today. Remember that?
Drive-in.
And so, and I always remember, they'd always remind you to make sure you take the speaker out of the window before you drive off. And somebody would inevitably drive away with that speaker in the window. I did it. So, anyway.
Guilty as charged.
Yeah, guilty. And then another one, I think I made a note there about the Loski's hot dog stand.
I was looking
Remember
into that.
one? Right across from where Pizza Hut is today, or where the car wash is, that old Loski's hot dog stand. I mean, I think it shut down maybe in the late 60s. So, anyway.
Now she's looking for information on the Valhalla water slide.
Oh, yeah.
That's been a very popular one. Yeah.
She's looking for information on that?
We were trying to figure out the exact year it closed,
Yeah, I don't remember either.
right?
80 something?
It seems like we collectively have forgotten. I think we've penned it down to 93 or 94.
Oh, no kidding.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember either.
I remember where they took it down.
Go ask Todd.
It's where that,
Todd Elmer.
grocery store.
Dollar General is now.
Todd had one up in Fargo.
Yeah, dollar store. Yeah. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, my
Great.
kids are up
Anything else for Brittany?
Nope.
Keep up the good work. Thank you.
Thank you.
Check out Loski's hot dog stand.
Jeez, squeaky, now you can buy corn there.
Jerry Hagenmiller, District Coordinator. Douglas, Soil and Water Conservation District. Jerry, you got the floor.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you.
How are you doing, Jerry? Not too bad. Good.
I'll try to speed things up.
As Chairman Schmidt said, I'm Jerry Hagenmiller with Douglas Soil and Water Conservation District, presenting our 2027 budget request. In the packet I gave you, I'm not going to go through the whole thing in detail just to save a little time. But basically, the Douglas Soil and Water staff consists of 7 full-time employees, 1 seasonal part-time employee that we use for tree planting and installing fabric on the tree rows in the spring. And then we have 1 summer intern that's working on a project of doing a culvert inventory within the Long Prairie watershed. And once that data is complete, we'll share that with the townships and the highway department. For 2027, the Soil and Water Conservation District is requesting $321,255. Breakdown as followed: $308,752 of a county allocation, and $12,503 is to make us eligible for the Board of Water and Soil Resources local water management levy. This is an increase of $9,574 over our 2026 request, and that equals just a hair over 3%. Some of the different activities that we've been working on this last year and over the years is through the Soil and Water District. We implement the Minnesota Buffer Law, which requires landowners to have vegetative buffers on certain streams, county ditches, and protected waters. The Soil and Water District implements the Wetland Conservation Act for Douglas County, and we've been doing that since 1991 when the Wetland Conservation Act was put into place. Another mandate from the state that passes down to the counties. The Soil and Water District, we're working on implementation of the 4 comprehensive water plans that cover Douglas County from the Pomme de Terre, Chippewa, Sauk, and Long Prairie watersheds. We do quite a bit of grant writing and secure funds for landowners for installing erosion control or best management practices on their properties. And a lot of this money that we're securing for grant funding for landowners is coming through the comprehensive local water management plans within the 4 major watersheds within county. Work with the Douglas County Highway Department on when they're planning on new road rebuilds or construction projects for working through the mitigation process for replacing the wetlands that are being filled through the project, and helping them work through the Corps of Engineers mitigation process also. We work with the Conservation Reserve Enhancement Program, or the CREP program, the State of Minnesota RIM program, and the federal RIM WRP, or Wetland Reserve Program. We work extensively with the Ag BMP loan program that is low interest loan for landowners. We do a lot of septic upgrades with landowners for getting their septics upgrade. If we do have cost share for that, but that doesn't come close to covering the price of a septic system upgrade. So we'll work with the landowners to supplement the Ag BMP loan program for their septics. We get an allocation of state cost share funds through the Board of Water and Soil Resources for erosion control projects that we work with landowners on, pass those funds. Work with Land and Resource Management on if there's new developments on plats, to look at the wetlands to make sure they're delineated and the plats are drawn in a way that we can avoid the wetland impacts where possible. Work with a lot of the lake associations and Douglas County Lakes Coalition of Lake Associations on different water quality monitoring and planning for their lakes. Work with the Douglas County Auditor Treasurer in reviewing and tax forfeit land for future sale, and we identify the wetlands and marginal soils on those parcels. And we promote soil and water conservation in schools and with other youth groups. And that second page of the handout is more in detail of the different conservation practices and programs that we use through our office. We work with a lot of rural landowners, and now recently a lot of the lake people if they've got issues or erosion problems on their land. Third page of the packet is projected 2026 budget and proposed 2027 budget on there. I'm not going to go in deep detail through each line item to save a little time for you guys. As far as salary increases, we are proposing 3%, which is similar to what I'm hearing that is for county employees on there. The biggest unknown for us right now is health insurance. We usually don't get quotes until about October, so it's after we'll come and visit with the board And right now, I'm projecting about a 12% increase, and I'm hoping it's gonna be less than that, but right now, we really don't have any idea. And the last 3 pages are just more accomplishments that we've done since last time I met with you. And one thing on the last page on the bottom, it's just the total amount of conservation dollars that are brought into the county through different federal and state programs over last year was about $4.85 million. This is down some compared to previous years, and it had to do a lot with the some of the federal programs and the shutdown from last fall and early winter, that some of the different conservation programs were cut off and there wasn't funding available for landowners for some of them. Is there any questions? That's a quick and dirty overview of the Soil and Water District activities for 2026.
Yeah, Mr. Chair, just a question. Are you seeing any planting of pollinators being used as far as buffers on around our lakes? Is that being promoted?
It's being promoted and it's catching on.
Yeah, yeah.
It's people that they're used to the golf course or manicured lawn.
Yep.
So I think this summer, we probably did a half a dozen of them.
Yeah.
And last year, probably a few more than that. And I think it's just people just have to realize it's something important for the lakes.
Well, it's not only
at
important
the
for the
runoff.
lakes, but it's for the bees, where
Yep.
it seems the pollinators seem like they're disappearing.
Yeah.
And so you're doing a double.
Yeah, you're benefiting
Yeah,
the lake plus the
So
the
I just thought
pollinators
if
out
we
there
can promote that, that'd be great.
on there. And through the Soil and Water District, we have seed available for the pollinator mixes, so
Yeah.
landowners can just stop in the office and request some.
Thank you.
Is there a charge for them? Sorry.
Yes, there is.
Go ahead, Jim.
I'd like to comment on Jerry. You know, I was one of the, utilized the services, rented a till for pollinator mix, and this is the first year of all the pollinators that come up, and you'd be amazed what you see in the pollinator mix. We're seeing more and more monarch butterflies flying around. The bees are doing their job, and then I've seen some more wildlife that's been in the pollinator mix. And
No, it's good. It's a good thing.
Any more questions? Thanks, Jerry.
Okay, and then I'll switch gears for the, I'm presenting on the Chippewa River Watershed Association there. Their request this year is $4,200, which has been the same as it has been, I think, the last 6-8 years at least. And they do get quite a bit of funding through the Board of Water and Soil Resources through the Comprehensive Water Plan. The income that they receive from the different counties within the watershed, it pays for insurance, rent, audits, and utilities that are not eligible for the Board of Water and Soil Resources grants. Any questions on the Chippewa? And I know Jeff sits on that board. And we appreciate Jeff attending our Soil and Water District meetings too. And hopefully he passes on information to the other board members.
Any questions? All right, thanks, Jerry.
Thank you very much and appreciate the support we've received from Douglas County in the past.
At this time, I'd like to call up Christine Klemick, Lakes Area Humane Society. You've been sitting there a while.
Good morning, Mr. Chair
Good
and
morning.
Commissioners. Nice to see you again. And an edit, my name is Kristen. Everybody says
Kristen, yes.
Christine, it's fine.
Sorry.
No problem. I'm coming to you today just to talk about the Lakes Area Humane Society. Just a quick overview. of what we use the funding that we receive from the county for, and a little bit of our challenges and where we are just right now as far as operations. Basically, the appropriation helps us offset, the primary use of the funds is to offset the cost of impounding of animals, stray animals specifically, in townships and cities that do not do impounding with us. They don't have animal control contracts with us, which means we don't get any type of funding when we take in stray animals. We had nearly 50 last year to a cost of about $30,000. And so that's monies that we don't get any support with to take in those stray animals. And each stray animal is held with us for 7 days to allow an owner to come forward to claim them. We do see that in the outlying areas, our claim rates are very, very low. Less than 1% of cats are ever claimed. Sadly, it's kind of a national average too. Dog claim rates, like in the city of Alexandria, we're seeing about 70%, 68 to 70% this year, which is up a little bit from the last 2 years, so that's good. Once we get into more rural areas, sadly, I think it may be because people take dogs and dump them out there. We do see a lot lower claim rate in those areas. Some of the cities and townships, of course, Alec Township, LeGrand, and the city of Alexandria are the largest, most residential areas. We do have contracts with them for both cats and dogs. Many of the cities or the townships and some of the small cities, they sometimes will do dogs, but not cats, just because it's such a prolific problem. So it does kind of limit the amount of animals that are covered under, as far as cost for strays. But we still want to assist our people, the residents of the county, especially when animals are problematic, and also to stop the reproduction cycle. That's always a problem. But one other thing we do, actually specifically for the Sheriff's Department, they don't impound stray animals unless there's an incident, a problem, a bite, or damage to property. However, they do bring in animals when they arrest people. That's one of our most trying things that we've dealt with over all the years. We try to still do the service for them. If they do that, the person that was arrested is responsible for kennel fees, which are really inexpensive. It's only $15 a day, much cheaper than if you'd go to a veterinary clinic and board an animal. So we try to do that, but the owner arrest can be quite difficult. We just had one last month. Individual was arrested. She couldn't make bond or bail, and so we had her dog for 26 days. Most of these individuals struggle overall, so paying any type of bill is not something they can do easily. It's not a stray animal, so the same rules do not apply. We actually can't do anything with that animal until the owner would surrender it to us or find someone else to get it. Otherwise, we have to go through a lengthy abandonment process as well. So the dog was with us that many days. The bill was about $730. And unfortunately, she was able to come up with $120, but that leaves us of a deficit of about $600 on that. So it's something we've looked at. We've talked about not doing that service, but obviously the Sheriff's Department, Alec Police Department, they rely on us quite a bit. We do take animals in if people have been in car accidents, that type of thing, or if somebody has had a medical emergency as well. Typically, we take those animals in for the residents, and we don't charge them any fees. Someone else can come get the pet, or if they themselves can get the pet, just so that they have a safe place for their pet to be in the interim until someone can come care for them. So that's kind of the primary ask when we ask for funding. That's primarily where it goes to. We also, of course, look at our cost of care. Our animal cost of care currently right now is $712 per pet. We really focus on making sure any of our adoptable animals are behaviorally sound, medically sound, and are going to be good pets for the population, that people are going to start out with a very healthy pet. And of course, in doing so, all of them are spay or neutered. We want to make sure that we're not contributing to the problem of population. In addition to that, they have vaccinations. Of course, distemper, rabies is very important, as far as protecting the public. In addition to that, of course, deworming, testing, blood tests for diseases, so we're not having a spread of diseases in our community. In addition to that, we do microchipping for all of our animals too, in hopes that we can certainly increase those claim rates if a pet becomes lost. So that's very important as well. Veterinary costs, as you probably all know, have really increased, and they've continued to increase. We struggled a couple of years ago to get animals in for their spays and neuters and procedures. The veterinary clinics are extremely busy. There's 2 veterinary clinics that had closed and no one took them over. So there's certainly a higher number of people requesting veterinary care. We need to be able to access this care relatively quickly so that we can take care of the large number of animals coming in and get them ready for adoption. So we have had an association with Dr. Kate up at the Battle Lake Veterinary Clinic. It's actually Lakes Veterinary. She's been phenomenal to us. We have surgeries 1 day a month, and we can usually take in 18 to 20. So 1 day a month, I'll take up 20 animals. We just had one last Friday. And get them all spay and neuter, rabies vaccination, medical checks, other medical needs that are taken care of. And she's just been so phenomenal and generous. And it helps us keep on track so that we can kind of have a turnover and open up spaces for more animals in need. Right now, we're still seeing a lot of dogs being abandoned. We're getting tons and tons of calls. It had gotten a little better after COVID, but it increased again. People wanting to surrender pets. Various reasons, could be behaviors that they don't wish to continue caring for. It can be financial reasons. It can be they can't have them in a rental unit. They're moving. So there's many different reasons people look for surrenders, but the calls that we're getting have increased. Kind of prior to COVID, we'd have 1 or 2 a month for a dog surrender, and now we can have 2 or 3 a day. At one point for a while, it was 5 to 6 a day. So we're really hoping that that trend will not continue and that we'll see some decrease as well. Cats, there's always a lot of cats out there. This year has been particularly high number of cats coming in, probably the highest we've had in 2-3 years during this period. Lots of mama cats and babies. Probably a good portion of this is there really isn't any low-cost spay-neuter services in our Alexandria area or Douglas County area. So folks either have to go to Fargo, to the cities. There is a place up in Detroit Lakes. Of course, all of these are a bit of a drive. The Wilmer Humane Society has veterinarian on staff, so they are able to do some there. But again, it's a ways for people to drive. We have been, prior to COVID, we've been trying to recruit a veterinarian on staff for us so that we can provide the service of low-cost spay-neuter for our residents and low-cost vaccines such as rabies, which is so important as well. We have not been successful. There is definitely a veterinarian shortage right now. Clinics are struggling to hire. So we don't foresee that, but we're not going to give up on that dream because it's so badly needed. We have people, they call and they want to, if they're in a non-impounding area, of course we get from other counties as well calling us. We'll put them on a wait list. We always put Douglas County residents with stray animals as a priority on our wait list to call. We have probably, last time I looked, about 235 cats and kittens on our wait list waiting to come in, and that's just from Douglas County. So there's definitely a need, and we're not seeing those numbers decrease, unfortunately. Other things, of course, we use monies to offset cost of maintenance. Our building is 27 years old, and we've been slowly maintaining things. We're getting to the point where we're going to have to redo some floors. We also, our laundry equipment is slowly dying again. It's used, from morning 6:30 to 8:30 at night, so it's running constantly. We also are going to have to replace some windows, unfortunately. Just kind of your typical things. We have outside fencing that needs to be replaced. Did a quick estimate on each of those things. So we're looking at about $48,000 in repairs in the next year or 2 here. So, basically, typical thing of running any type of business or anything, you're always going to have those expenses. So that's some of the things that we face. The most of our monies actually come from private individual donations. We don't get large donations typically from companies or anything like that. We, sometimes they'll do a fundraiser or whatnot, they'll bring in some money, but we depend on the people, the individual private citizens to help fund us. That's a good majority of where our budget comes from. Impound fees and our adoption fees are also another way that we have monies come in, but primarily it's our donations. As you can see, we always have a lot of costs associated with this. I mean, you're familiar with that. We are asking for an appropriation request increase of just $1,000. We appreciate everything we get from the county. we certainly are there to try to help animals, but even more importantly, we're there to help the residents of this county so that they're not having animal problems, or we can reduce the risk of rabies transmission. There has definitely been an increase of rabies cases in Minnesota in the last couple of years, so definitely something on our radar as well. If you have any
Mr. Chair,
questions,
I got
let
a
me know.
question. Yeah, do you get many dogs that come in there with chips in them that you can trace?
We don't get as many as we'd like, but we do. Just had one yesterday, which is amazing, because if they lose tags, the dog had a tag, I guess it lost it, but we were able to connect with the owner very quickly, so that's nice. So we definitely do that. Cats, not as commonly. We do offer microchipping at a very low cost to the public, only $25. We take up all the registration, everything. And so we're trying to increase the amount of animals having microchips. And like I said, all of our adoptees are too. But we'd like to see more, but we do. We do wind up with dead-end ones sometimes. We had a dog come in, probably was dumped. The chip was placed in Arizona, and we get kind of a dead-end trail there. So sometimes they fail us, but for the most part, people keep their information updated. Yeah, we're able to connect them with owners quickly.
How about, do you have a booth at the fair?
We do not, no. We have over in the years over past, but sometimes it's really difficult to find volunteers and whatnot to be able to cover the times required.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Any other questions?
Mr. Chair, and I'm reading over the letter that you sent us.
Yes.
And I asked a question last year too, that you take the animals up to Battle Lake.
Yes.
And which I don't have a problem, but it's quite a distance. You're
It
putting
is.
on mileage and get the animals taken care of.
Mhm.
And we have veterinarian services here in Alexandria. Why can we bring it closer to home? Is it they had come up with a reason?
Excellent question. Cost is one. The cost is much, much higher. Secondly, the veterinary clinics, we were getting to the point where we could only get 1 or 2 animals in a week. And when you have 30 coming in, the only way we can get them ready for adoption, we don't allow them to go until they've had the veterinary care they need, including spay, neuter. We just would be so far behind. We'd have so many animals. We wouldn't be able to do that. They just weren't able to accommodate us. And I know even general citizens with their pets are struggling to get in appointments. Like a lot of them, like dentals, they're 5-6 months out. So we can't get in, and we need to be able to do that. And again, cost too. It definitely, the cost difference pays for mileage, time, everything. Any questions?
We're all good?
Thank you.
All right,
Thank
thank you
you.
guys, appreciate it.
At this time, I'd like to call up Nicole Fernholz, Alexandria Economic Development Commission. Thank you.
Always like that folder.
Good afternoon. Thank you, Chair and Commissioners, for your continued partnership and investment in economic development. I'm Nicole Fernholz with the Alexandria Area Economic Development. Today, I'm here to respectfully request $60,638 in operational support for 2027 to continue advancing economic growth, business expansion, workforce attraction, and community vitality in Douglas County. Sometimes my kids ask me, I don't really get what you do all day. Now, 2 of them are teachers and 1 of them is a nurse, so it's very specific what they do. And I say, every day is a different day. Economic development is not a single project. It's the ongoing work of building the conditions that allow businesses to invest, employers to hire, and our communities to thrive. Our work focuses on 3 core areas. The first one is supporting the success and expansion of our current businesses. These businesses are the backbone of our economy. Retaining and helping local businesses grow helps to create jobs, expands the tax base, and generates additional private investment. Secondly, our office leads community initiatives that strengthen economic competitiveness. We coordinate efforts that directly impact the success of employers and workers, including workforce development initiatives and community development efforts that support business growth. And lastly, we really work to build a strong entrepreneurial ecosystem in Douglas County. If you look around at our businesses, a lot of them are homegrown, people that started their businesses in garages, in their backyard, and have really grown to expand and create a number of jobs in our community. These entrepreneurs create the next generation of local businesses, and our office provides the technical assistance and access to regional resources that help these startups launch and grow successfully. The demand for economic development services in Douglas County continues to grow. Over the last 18 months, businesses working with our office have committed over $44 million in private investment. Every one of these projects required assistance that navigated financing, planning, site selection, and community connections. And our office answers requests daily from businesses exploring expansion opportunities, entrepreneurs who are looking to start a new venture, individuals who want to relocate and work in our community, and employers looking for workforce solutions. These conversations represent future jobs, future tax base, and future investments in our communities. Your investment in economic development is not simply funding an office, it is helping to leverage millions of dollars of private sector investment that strengthen Douglas County's economic future. So where does your financing go? Douglas County continues to be one of Minnesota's fastest growing counties. Our goal is to ensure that growth translates into long-term economic prosperity and a high quality of life. So the dollars go towards business coaching and technical assistance. This free and confidential support is through our office through direct business consulting, online business coaching, and then regular SBDC office hours in our office. The dollars also go to workforce attraction and retention. A challenge for employers is not finding their customers, but finding and retaining their talent. To support this effort, one of the things that we have developed with the Chamber of Commerce is the Neighborhood Navigators Program. There's a flyer in that folder that I just gave you. It's to help new and returning residents successfully integrate into our community. When workers feel connected to a community, they're more likely to stay, invest, and contribute to our local economy. And finally, we use our dollars to market Douglas County as a place to live, work, and invest. Economic development today is more about just attracting businesses. Companies make their investment decisions based on whether their employees want to live in a community. And we are lucky here that Douglas County's quality of life is one of our strongest economic assets and a reason that businesses and people want to be here. Brad Breha talked about it a couple minutes ago, that we have a lot going on in Douglas County. And as workforce competition intensifies, communities with strong quality of life advantages gain a significant edge in attracting those businesses and residents. Quality of life is not separate from economic development, and it's a primary reason businesses choose to invest and families choose to stay here. This year, in case you didn't know, we relocated our office to better serve our residents, businesses, and visitors. We are co-located with Explore Tourism and the Chamber of Commerce. So we've created a centralized hub for community engagement and economic growth. So whether you're starting a business or expanding a company, or you want to become more involved in the community, our office is a great one-stop location to do that. Your investment helps position Douglas County to leverage millions of dollars in private investment, support local employers, strengthen entrepreneurship, and attract workforce talent. Douglas County continues to be one of Minnesota's growth leaders. We are ranked as the 22nd fastest growing county in the state out of the 87 counties. And this growth creates tremendous opportunities and also increases the need for strategic investment in economic development in order for our economy and communities to continue to thrive. So our office appreciates your continued partnership and support as we work to ensure Douglas County is one of the best places to live, work, invest, and build a business. If you have any questions, I'd love to take them now.
Mr. Chair, go ahead. Nicole, I guess the one question I got is, with all the apartments that are being built in Alexandria mostly, where are the people coming from?
Yeah, we have a lot of in-state migration. So a lot of our growth is not from natural birth, it's people migrating here from other parts of the state. Okay. We're actually going to be doing another housing study. Our last one was 2023. And the city of Alexandria has been pretty proactive in the multifamily realm, and we want to see where we are for our numbers.
So I always like to promote tourism where they come here, spend their money, and they go home. That's a lot better. That's my idea.
It's not always that
Part
simple.
of it, Nicole, have we done any better with the workforce? I mean, you would hope that all the apartments would be a workforce. I know in our industry, it's impossible, but but even in a lot of the manufacturing are having trouble. We've been using a lot of the J-term students and things, but to get by, I know everybody.
Yep, you're spot on. And I haven't lived in an apartment building for several decades, but it's a great place to land and then hopefully buy your home and establish roots and grow your family here.
Well, that's what in history has been, even if that does change to where they don't want to be homeowners, but it's still got to be the workforce in the future too, I would think.
I would think so as well. Yep.
Ongoing issue for us.
Any more questions?
How were we? You been doing any TIF stuff? Almost qualifying, it looks like for hospitality one again.
Almost fall time. Yep, so I'll have to re-look at
I was
those
looking at
numbers.
the numbers there. I know what the percentages of the state we have to be to qualify, so it might be interesting. Must be getting close.
We are close, yep.
Okay.
And again, I'm sure you've heard a lot about the economic challenges and the change of landscape. You know, we're continuing to see people build here and want to be here. So part of that is luck, but part of that is strategic investments that our communities have made. So I'm happy I live here. I've got all three of my kids living here. Yay me. So I just think it's a great community. So thanks for all that you do.
Yeah, one final question. What do you got there as far as people that have summer homes here but don't call Alexandria home?
I just heard this number. I'm not going to say because I don't remember, but I will email that to you and get you that information.
Thank you.
I just can't off the cuff
I got
remember.
another question to you for Nicole. How many job openings do we have in the county? Do you
It
know?
has decreased a little bit. I have not looked for a little bit on those numbers, but it's stabilized slightly. Hospitality still is a
Yeah,
challenge.
they're always looking.
I was saying that my son teaches and he's going to go work tonight at the restaurant because the students have gone back to school. So he needs to go to work. So it's stabilized a bit, but we still have a challenge of needing people.
With all the apartments and the people moving in, hopefully they find jobs and stuff they can do, especially in the hospitality, like you said.
So Charlie, do they have a robot that'll make a bed yet?
I haven't seen that one yet.
Me neither. All right, thanks, Nicole.
Thank you.
Have a good day. At this time, who do I got? Angela Jacobson, City Clerk, City of
Well, I tell you what,
Osage.
if I'm not there for over 3 days, I just put a sign on, do not disturb.
Good afternoon. Thank you for meeting with me or putting you on the agenda and thank you for the past support. I'm Angela Jacobson, City Clerk Treasurer for the City of Osakis, and work for the EDA. It's not a paid position as far as our city goes, so I just kind of do all parts of it. So I'm here today just to go over our request. I did send a letter. I'm not going to read that, but I'm just going to add a few things that we've been doing in our community. One of the reasons we come to the board is to ask for support for our building loan fund and our business startup funds. We like to keep some funds available for those that want to expand in our community and then also start up. So we're trying to build that fund up. So each year we're asking for some support to do that. And this year we're asking for $8,000 to do that. And in the last year now, we've secured 3 lots for industrial lots for businesses to build on, and we have 1 pending sale at this time. We also have 4 residential lots that we've purchased through either expanding the area or some blighted homes that we've cleaned up to have that. So we want to have somebody build on there, we offer a $25,000 grant through our community. And then we also secured a Tier 2 housing grant this last year that an individual that builds can get up to $50,000 off. So they could get a total of $75,000 to build on these lots. So that's part of what we're working on. We also have land that we purchased, so we're looking to expand that. Right now, we're platting that development, and it's approximately 24 lots. We don't have a final plot yet. We're still working through it, so about 24 lots. And we have one more house that we're cleaning up in our community to hopefully then put a new home on. We want to continue to have a business loan fund, as I said, and this housing program. And in the past year, we've helped 2 businesses to update their storefronts, put new siding. That was H&R Block and the motel in town here that was a rent by the month, and now they're moving it into a nightly stay. So it has cleaned it up, and it's been used quite frequently. So as I said before, I appreciate your support. And we're asking for $8,000, and I can answer any questions you have of me.
So have you decided where the fireworks are gonna be next year?
No.
Oh, jeez. You want to get into a local fight, don't you?
I see the hotel was in the newspaper and looks like it's cleaning up nice, and that's a nice project for the city.
Yes, they're really cleaning up the rooms, and she's moving, like I said, to more of a nightly stay, kind of advertising as a VRBO type thing through that market and that, so she's had some good use of it, so we like to see that. We want to have that in our community because there's no place to stay other than like a VRBO or Airbnb option other than coming all the way to Alec, and sometimes it's not feasible.
I kind of like the RVs there too, gives them kind of an option.
Yes,
Having
yeah.
RVs downtown right next to the trails is a nice
Yep.
spot too.
Especially with our Tasteful Sakis coming, it usually fills up in
I
that
bet
time.
it does.
Yeah.
Any questions for Angela?
Just the fireworks.
We'll stay out of that.
Yeah.
Thank you for coming
Thank
in.
you.
All right, this time I'd like to call up Aaron Smith, Viking Library, and Don Daly, Douglas County Library.
Last one, Tim.
Took us all day to get to you, but you're the last one. I won't comment.
You missed the rest.
Thank you.
I do.
Thank you for having Don and I here this afternoon to share the 2025 Viking Library System Annual Report and then also our 2027 appropriation request. And a thank you for your service to the communities in our region, and also a special thank you to Commissioner Jeff Way for serving on the Viking Library System Governing Board. It's great to have his representation on the board. Just a little reminder of who we are. The Viking Library System has 6 member counties: Douglas, Grant, Otter Tail, Pope, Stevens, and Traverse. And we serve 11 member libraries within those counties. Douglas County is one of those member libraries, and I would be remiss not to just express over the last year the work that we've done with Don and the steering committee on the Douglas County Library project. It's an exciting and important project, and I know we've got some work to do on that, but as Nicole was mentioning with quality of life, the libraries in our region really improve and work towards maintaining a great quality of life in the counties we serve. Speaking of service, 2025 was also Viking Library System's 50th year of providing regional public library services in the area, and so thank you for your partnership in 50 years. We are a federated regional library system, one of 12 such systems in the state, and our mission is to connect, promote, and strengthen public library services in West Central Minnesota. We accomplish that mission by providing essential services to our member libraries that are governed and administered locally, and also direct services to rural residents within our region and specific communities, such as senior and child care facilities, and then we provide those services, also schools, through our bookmobile and outreach departments. some strategic activities or things we're focused on in 2026. We are evaluating our integrated library system. That's the database for our patrons who go online to place holds on materials and search for materials. And then there's a back-end side that the libraries use to enter records and maintain borrower records. And we are going out for requests for proposals for that system. We have been on the existing system for a long time. And as we look towards the end of our current agreement with that vendor, we want to ensure we're well positioned for the future. And I can also share that we, any change that we make, we're looking to either maintain or decrease our existing annual expenses for that ILS service as well. So we are keeping expenses in mind as we look to a change, a potential change. We are also working on updating our strategic plan for the next 3 to 5 years, this year in 2026. And we are launching civic hubs at all our member libraries as part of a grant-funded project as a nod to our country's 250th anniversary. We're looking to those civic hubs to help promote civic literacy and engagement in the communities we serve. So how do we fund all of this? Funding for the residents of the system area, for providing residents of the system area for library services, is shared among our member counties, our member cities, and the state. And Douglas County provides support to VLS for the bookmobile services we provide, our delivery and interlibrary loan, the automated library system, and technical and network and professional support. State funding, in turn, provides dollars for the administration and facility expenses for our offices, broadband and internet service for both the headquarters offices and all of the member libraries, e-resources and content. So if you're an Overdrive or a Libby user and download audiobooks or ebooks, that service, the platform and vendor fees are provided or paid for by state dollars, and also much of the content, and then member libraries also contribute towards that content. The outreach services to group homes and daycares is paid for by state support. And then we also receive legacy funding for cultural arts and history events through the legacy grant administered by the state. So that's a big part of what we do in helping to provide programming through those dollars at all of the member libraries and also in our bookmobile communities. And then in turn, Douglas, of course, supports the Douglas County Library as well, the buildings, materials, staff, and utilities, and admin costs. So that's the third leg of that stool that's very important in providing the work that we do. So our budget request for 2027, the Viking Library System Governing Board approved submitting a 2.5% increase request to member counties for 2027. And so Viking Library System's budget request for 2027 from Douglas County is a total of $150,439, or a $3,669 increase, 2.5% over the 2026 appropriation. And as others have touched on, that increase helps to support a cost of living adjustment and health insurance increases for staff. As a service organization, we're heavily invested in our personnel to provide those services for our region. And I also just wanted to touch on the state. So our LBSS, you might, if you're looking at the financial numbers in the inside of the handout, we are seeing a 2 to 2.5% due to increase in our LBSS rates due to indexing in that formula. So that does help support, the state is, we're seeing some inflationary with the indexing there, similar to how the school formula. So that is helping balance our budget as well. So I will stop there. If you have any questions for me, or else I can also turn it over to Dawn to share a little about the Douglas County Library, if she has anything to share.
I was just here and shared, so if you have questions, I'm more than willing to answer.
You're just here for support.
That's right.
Well, I'll tell you a short story. I was watching Wheel of Fortune, and this recently, and Ryan Seacrest asked the participant that what she likes to do, and she said, "I love to travel." He said, "Where do you travel?" She said, all I do is go to the library and get a book. She says that I take the best trips ever. Now, that's a
Absolutely.
stretch for me, but I guess it worked for you guys.
It works.
You do that on the airplane at last?
Yeah.
You can be anywhere you want to be.
Yeah, exactly.
That
That's
used to
low
come
budget
from another
travel.
saying too.
Yeah.
Anything? Anybody got
I'm
anything?
done.
No, I'm good.
Mr. Chair, Don, would you explain what you're doing to promote the library in the community and the county?
Well, right now, currently, a week and a half ago, 2 weeks, whatever it was, we were out at Community Night Out. Is this where you're going with this? And this week, we're out at the fair, so we're gonna have a table out at the fair all week. And it's the first time we've done that out at the fair. We've been out there as guests for the senior day, but never really had a table. So we're doing a table this year and getting the word out and continue to talk about our mission and our goals. And we get more questions. The biggest question we get is, when are we getting a new library? When are we moving? As soon as we have the money. So people are excited, they're engaged.
Yeah, I can just add to this, just recently had a family here from Alaska, and they visited the library, and they were very impressed. They thought it was very nice.
Yes, I just had a gentleman who was walking around the library like, not quite sure, so I stopped to ask if I could help. And he said, oh, we're just new to town. Well, we're not new, we've been here 6 years. And this is our first time to the library. This is really nice. What a big library. And I introduced myself, and he goes, wow, this is impressive to have the director come out and
Nice.
talk to us. I said,
Nice.
usually it's when you're being naughty that I have to come talk to you. So,
Thank you, Mr.
Good.
Yeah, thanks.
Thanks for what you both do. Any other questions? All right, thank you.
thank you
Have
for
a
your
great day.
support.
Have a good trip back to Fergus.
Yes, thank you.
Drive safe.
Will do.
So on here is, in our packet also was the Regional Radio Board, and nobody came to talk about that, but that'll be Charlie. And then we also had the Glacial Ridge Trail.
That is the budget. Did you see it in your packet?
Yeah. It's in there.
The radio board, it's a little less than, oh, there it is, yeah. A little less than last year. That's our share. That's for the armor radios with our law enforcement, and public works and all that.
There's down about 400. I said it's down about $400.
Yep.
That's good. All right, instead of taking a break, we can keep on moving. Actually, with the cost of all things that are going up and our levies and,
Glacial Ridge Trail.
well, I said it was in your packet.
Yeah, but I'm on the Glacial Ridge
Oh.
Trail board.
Well, speak up. Go ahead.
Well, what we use the money for is basically the upkeeps on signs. A lot of times the signs end up disappearing and stuff from the signs, and then we try to do educational stuff. A couple of years ago, we had a bus tour that we took people around on the Glacial Ridge Trail and stuff. We're keeping it the same at $1,000 is what it's been for the last how many years.
Well, that's nice.
So that's all I got to say.
Thanks, Tim.
So are they stealing the signs or what?
Well, I don't know if people steal the signs or what happens, but every once in a while, signs disappear.
Gary, are
We
you
have to
using them for
replace them
target
because
practice?
There's supposed to be 2 signs at every
I don't.
intersection. One that points to Glacial Ridge Trail, and then make sure you're on the right trail.
And if you're on,
That makes
That's
sense.
what this is for now.
Yeah.
Sometimes for us, that's hard to follow.
I agree.
So anyways, before I move into break, what I wanted to comment on was because of the growing costs and levies and everything that's going on, and we got a big budget to take a look at. If you've been watching the news, everybody's talking about their levies going up and everything. So what I would like to do is table this before we move into all this on here and have a work session on September 1st at 8 o'clock in the morning so we can talk as a group moving forward on what we should do here, and Jill is going to attend and we can talk about the budget in general. Because a lot of times we don't get to discuss it. We get bits and pieces of it, so I'd like to table this. I would like to move to a work session at 8 a.m. on September 1st and go over the budget and all that stuff at that time.
That's your motion.
as my motion.
I'll second that.
Any discussion?
That's the end of it. We don't vote on that at all.
Oh, I think we'd have to vote on it, otherwise we gotta move forward with all this.
No, it's
Wouldn't
tabled. Oh.
Lene,
Yes, let's take a vote. We have a motion and a second. Rapp,
Yes.
Way, Meyer, Schmidt,
yes.
Kalina.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Okay, at this time, I am going to look for items from the floor. Are there any items from the floor?
Can I ask one?
Sure.
Vicki, have we got any, on that task force, have we got any dates set? Have you got a few responses, I hope? Yeah. Oh, okay. That's all I. Oh, hell, that's too bad. Yeah. I was hoping you were done with that. Okay.
When they have to recount,
Jeez.
or recount.
Oh, they got a recount?
Okay,
Who's
any
on
other,
that?
oh,
No, you go ahead. No. Who's the recount? They haven't said. Oh, you just got notified by the.
Pillow Man. Yeah, educated guess, Pillow Man.
Yeah,
I said the Pillow Man.
you only got beat by 12%.
Anyways, any more items from the floor? I do want to make a comment. We got a nice thank you letter from Calvary Church for letting them use the lawn for their summer Bible study. So that was nice to get that.
Yep.
Any other items from the floor? I'll look to a motion to adjourn.
We got one there.
Oh, right. I guess I wouldn't have a problem with it. Anybody
How many
else?
people do you figure would be involved? Yeah. Oh, yeah.
What about the boat and water building?
That's exactly what
I would, yeah, Tim kind of mentioned, I think the boat and water building or even Rainbow Rider building.
I'd say the boat and
You
water.
let Brenda leave, didn't you?
You got a pretty size parking lot there.
Who's the one who sets that up? Lene, do you do that?
That's what I was
I
thinking.
can look into it, yes, Mr. Chair.
What was that?
I can definitely look into what spaces we have available, yes.
You could,
Water's got the garage and the
well,
meeting room.
yeah, and they got a meeting room and a garage in the whole works.
And
I
the
was
pets
just,
to be in the garage.
Yeah, I know they did.
thank you. Okay, I'd entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Thanks, Jeff. Thanks, Jerry. Lene, please.
Schmidt,
Yes.
Kalina,
Yes.
Rapp,
Yes.
Way,